Hi. Hi. Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. This is Himeutsugi, and I am joined by my good friend, if you'd like to introduce yourself to everyone.
Hello, I'm Cascaviar, the Witch of the Woods, and today we're here to build worlds.
Yay!
Hey everyone.
Oh, wait, hang on, can't see chat. This here. Okay. All right, there we go. Now I can see. I'll put this there. Haha. No, I pushed the wrong button. There we go. Okay. I hope everyone's been doing well. Hang on, I think the music is like incredibly quiet. Me. Do 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 do. Nope, and now I've muted it. Hang on. Alright, hopefully this is okay. Hopefully it isn't just this one song, and after this song it gets super loud. That would be embarrassing. Okay. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing well today. Thank you, Killer Flame, for making the link with all the things. Cassie here got first, with no unfair advantage whatsoever.
What do you mean?
And hello to...
I'm just a sniper.
You are. Let's see, and then I saw Stoat, and Killer Flame, of course, Yggdra, Iris, Blue, Anna, Regain, Zachary, did I get everyone? Chuck, L, Ender, did I get everyone? I think that's everyone that I saw. Oh, Woven is here too. Hi, Woven. But yeah, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really quick couple of things. Number one is that we are in the middle of my Donothon, which, as you can see from the title, has gone on for over a month. Hello, Happy Wolf. And so this is where we're at in the Donothon. We are now on the final line of goals. If somehow we fulfill these last 4 goals, I'm gonna have to put my thinking cap on, because I have 2 more goals after this that I've thought up and then nothing. So I'm gonna have to put my thinking cap on as to what I can possibly do for you all, but I'm really excited. Actually, I talked to Alex T of Black Oath this morning about the Riftbreaker server, and he's really excited about it too, and said he's happy to like have some copies, free copies that I can give away and stuff like that. So I've got dev support on that, so I'm really excited. I'm excited about all the things, of course, which is why I made them as goals, but that one in particular, I spoke with him this morning, so I'm really excited. It's gonna be fun. I have a lot of plans for how I want that to go, and really excited for people to join in.
64-bit robot just prime subbed.
Hi, 64!
Wow.
Thank you for the prime sub. You've been subscribed for 13 months. That is over a year. That is crazy. That's a baker's dozen months, you know?
Well,
Wow. And you got a shrimp toy. Look at it. It's so cute. I was just watching a video earlier about how to make shrimp butter. Can't believe I've watched Burb for a year, right? Actually, it's been over a year. My goodness.
shrimp
yeah.
butter, like spreadable shrimp?
They
Also,
use,
hi, Pixel.
They basically use the shrimp heads and infuse it into the butter so that you can then use that butter to cook things that, and it'll have more of like a shrimp flavor to it. And it gives you something to do with the heads instead of just throwing them away, which I'm always a fan of. But yeah, Cassie and I are here today to continue on with our world building for my TTRPG, solo TTRPG that I've been writing called Ballads of Dawn. If you were here for the last stream, we did a lot of mythology stuff, and actually I met with my friend today who's doing the art for the game, and she was like, I love the mythology that y'all came up with about Corin's eye and everything, and she's been all inspired to draw, so I just went over that with her today.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
see that.
she's my BFF. She's a science teacher, and so when I went over the planet and the way Corin's eye has like an orbital period of like 20 years, she like got all super nerded out on it. It was very cute.
It's super cool.
So yeah, so we're working on that today. So we have the Arcana section, which is about magic and the magic systems. We're going to do that, and then it leads into geography. So those are the 2 sections we're going to do today. So we're definitely not going to get through the whole book, and that is okay, because that just gives me even more excuses to bring Cassie on again.
115, holy crap.
Oh my god, that is a lot, Iris. Iris, the being that you are. 115, that's wild. Is that the biggest stream streak? I know that there's at least 2 other people that are in the 3 digits, but I think you might have it's either you or Mr. Schaff, because I think Mr. Schaff has a lot of check-ins, but I don't know if Mr. Schaff's streak is... I'm not sure, actually. You've been warned. You will be brought back again. Yeah, exactly. You're coming back. I'm at 102. I think Mr. Schaff... I know Mr. Schaff is also in the 3 digits, but I think 170 was for the check-ins, not for the stream streak. But I could be wrong. Maybe I have it the other way around. But I know I'm pretty sure Mr. Schaff is in the 3 digits as well. Maybe. I wish I could see it somehow, but I can't actually see it except for when it pops up on
I was actually going to ask at some point if there was a way you could look, because I have people approaching 100 because I have almost 100 streams under my belt at this point.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting!
but I wanted to look and I can't look.
Yeah, I don't think the data is available anywhere. It's just kind of a fun thing. I also wish they could get more points. Like, the fact that it caps out kind of sucks.
115 should be worth like.
Yeah, I feel like you should be able to get like 1,000 points if you're over 50 or something, you know what I mean? Because that's dedication, especially with me and my ways of like randomly streaming earlier on the weekends and stuff like that. Like, I don't always stream at the same time, and so the fact that people have these crazy streaks is you still get 400. I know, but that's not very many points in the grand scheme of things. I feel like that bonus should go up. Maybe it's just the rate at which it goes up it gets lower, but I feel like you should be getting more points. The fact that it caps out kind of sucks, but yeah, just thoughts, just my burp brain thoughts. Okay, hang on.
Thinking.
Check now the music is a little too loud, maybe. And I knew this would happen. The first song is always like really quiet, and then I adjust the sound, and then everything else gets loud. Okay, there. We should be good. I would gladly take more, though. Give me more feathers with which to commit burb crimes. Yeah, recently Naya came in and was like, I almost have enough for burb feet, and that scares me. I have one feet.
Again! Return of the feet
I
stream.
know, right? Goodness. Hello, Zoran! But yeah, so we are moving along here with Arcana. So as last time, we'll be sort of taking turns reading, and there'll be times where I switch over to Obsidian because that's where I have my notes and my Ballads of Dawn file and everything. So that is there. Ballads of Dawn is a game in development, but you can currently purchase it in early access. And with every milestone of like art and writing, the cost goes up a little bit towards its final price. So this is pretty much the cheapest that you can get it currently. And there is a buttload of content in the game already. I feel like it's more than worth the $8. But yeah, it is there.
Me rubbing my little grubby elf hands together. You just wait till I'm done with it.
There's gonna be even more. I'm excited. I've already bought it. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. If you guys ever end up playing it, let me know, because I do love hearing about it. Or if you have any, critique or anything, let me know, because I'm very open to constructive criticism. I'm not super attached to anything. As long as it serves the game well, I'm happy to change whatever. So, and then, of course, Killer also linked to the book that we are using called What's My Foundation, which is by Runic Press, which is, Cassie is my friend, but Cassie's also sort of I don't know if that's the right word, representing Runic Press. That makes it
I
sound
helped
so
write the
legal.
book.
Yeah. Cassie's in the credits. Cassie's a pro.
I guess like representing is technically, but yeah, I don't know. I'm here. I wrote some thought things, and I was behind a lot of the concepting of this book.
Yeah.
So this book is kind of my baby in a way, even though Anthony took on a bulk of the writing. I'm not going to pretend I did most of the writing. Anthony Anderson did a good deal of the writing, but I was super big in concepting, and the biology and ecology section is all mine.
Yeah, which unfortunately we're not going to get to that section today, but that will be the next stream. Will be the ecology section, and it'll be very Cassie. I'm excited.
Everyone wants to be there for that one, trust me.
Hey Hime, hi Silver. Love world building systems. Oh good. So yeah, we're doing magic now. I don't remember, but I had a lot of questions, so I never tested the game. Yeah, well, feel free to ask whatever questions. You can leave them on itch itself in the little discussion post area if that's easier for you, and I can respond directly there. That way it doesn't get lost as much. But yeah.
Something I was thinking of just before we get in, because I wanted to bring this up, but I didn't want to interrupt our brain flow once we get to it. I really think that this could be a super interesting, and you'd be the bird for it, an interesting solo journaling RPG.
Yeah.
If you were to use this book as though you were like a lonely god of some sort, right?
Yeah.
Like some sort of creator god, journaling, creating your universe.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's fun.
I feel like that could be a super, super interesting thing. And if you're looking for interesting stuff to do, once I'm gonna say when you reach all your goals, because you will. When you reach all your goals, maybe we could do that as a bit of a special fun thing.
That would be fun. I love that perspective too. A lot of fun. Yeah. Hi Viper. All right. So with that, let us continue.
Let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get to it. I love this art.
And look at that. Yeah, that was
so cool.
Oh my god, that one's one of my favorites.
It's so pretty. I love it. It's very aesthetic. New goal unlocked. True. You know what? Thank you. You've now thought up a goal. I'll just add it.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Yeah. Do it. I'm just outsourcing all of my goal writing. Be like, friends, what do you want to do? I'll add it as a goal.
I feel that.
Right.
Hey everybody, let's hang out. How do you want to hang out?
Right. Want me to toss it in the Google Doc? Sure. Okay. Guess I'll read. Much ink has been spilled over the categorization of magic. Many systems and authors attempt to classify it in schools or areas of influence. This has led to many more conversations pointing to the settings in the world as the main reasons why a hard and fast blanket classification system cannot be established. For example, when a character uses healing magic, are they channeling life magic, straightforward, death magic, controlling, preventing, and reversing death, evocation magic, sending energy from one source to another, or even transmutation magic, replacing broken, dead, or eviscerated tissue with fresh, new flesh? Well, that relies on you to set parameters for how your world works. Playing this out, healing magic via death magic is a fun twist, but it simply doesn't work if your world is adamantly opposed to necromancy, and all practitioners are put to the sword. Unless, of course, you want said healing to be rare, powerful, and illegal. The differences between evocation and transmutation may depend on how the healing is transferred. Is it described as a beam of light connecting the two individuals, or does the description rely more on the visual changes as the wounds shift, shimmer, or knit themselves back together? At the end of the day, healing is healing, and what's most important in the big scheme of things is whether it's available or not, and where it comes from. The rest of the details may ultimately be out of your control if you're playing a game with a preset system, or not matter enough to be relevant if this is more free-form narrative devoid of mechanical constraints. Determining what categoric kinds of magic are or are not available in a given setting makes it extremely difficult when playing a game within a system that may, in fact, allow or require all kinds. Rather than force you into a narrative box you're not ready to settle into, we wanted to give it a less granular way to look at magic in your world, namely, where does it originate and what are its limitations? Would you like to read the next part?
Sure.
Okay.
As we're far too early in the creation of your world to get bogged down in something as small and silly as current events or even humanity thus far, we want to look at how magic manifests broadly in your setting. It's also essential to understand how the various sources interact. Do your innately gifted... Hime, can you move that to the left? I can't. It's blocking text.
Are we? Hang on, I need to... The music went to something strange. It has the words, and I don't like it.
I understand that.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. There we go. Do your innately gifted creatures work together with those who spend their lives researching magic to tap into its reserves? Are your supernaturally powered characters at odds with the ones who genetically inherit their magic? It's also important to determine early how many different sources you want to have, as some settings may dictate very few, while others require nearly anything you can think of. This is a crucial thing to decide early. We recommend rolling on the chart below once, working your way through the questions that follow, then coming back to roll again if you deem any additional origins are necessary. Remember, even if you're playing a game with a system already in place... scroll please. Thank you. Many aspects of the mechanics can be reflavored or simply removed if they don't serve the story that you and your table mates want to tell.
Yippee! Okay. I want to read through the origin types, and then pick one rather than rolling. Wait, hang on, let's see. Snark Necnomancy is my favorite magic school.
Our books. We have the words.
It's fun. I bought it and have been working through some characters. Oh yay! I'm so glad. I honestly think making characters is the most fun part of playing Ballads of Dawn. I've rolled so many characters just for the fun of it and not gotten any farther. And I think several people I know who are or have play tested it get stuck for days or even weeks in character creation because it's fun to just be like, oh, I made this character. Oh, this character has 5 siblings. Let me now continue to make all of their siblings. I think Zach is doing like the entire like magical or the entire royal family tree. Yeah, please do.
If you want some help with that character creation, the book that we're currently using has I would say prequel in that it came first, but a sister book called What's My Motivation that is entirely built for deep character building. So if you've been looking for and it's the same thing as this where it's a helper, not entirely a full character build. So if you want to explore those characters a little more deeply,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used
suggestion.
I used that book for my character for my long Draconin campaign, and I really love the character that came out. I love Axel to bits, so it was so much fun.
Axel is awesome.
I love him. I love my little draconic noodle, my baby.
Little guy.
Which by the way, if you're like, why haven't you been streaming that, by the way, it's because Ash is now working on the solo book for Draconim, and apparently it's about 80% done. And so I'm now just waiting until that's like finished and before I pick that up again, because I don't want to get myself further entrenched in rules that are going to change. You know what I mean? So I am waiting for that to be complete, but that's why. So I haven't forgotten. I haven't lost interest. Do not worry. Any of my solo campaigns I've paused. It is not due to lack of interest, but they're just kind of in different phases. Sometimes, like my Fabula Ultima one, I just need to think about where I want the story to go. So I have a conundrum, you know what I mean? And I will come back to them. It's just a matter of time. Let's see, Ballad. Big recommend for What's My Foundation and What's My Motivation, also by Runic Press. I have both books, definitely a worthy read. I also have both books in PDF and print. I love how the two of them look next to each other on the shelf. It makes me very happy.
It'll look even better with the third.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
What is that one about? Okay, please tell. Please give us
So we might or might not be working on something called What's My Population, which is we've zoomed out a little further and we're looking into like city building and societies and kingdoms and stuff.
Wait, oh my god. Wait, I need that. I need that.
It's good. It's so tough compared to the other ones. Like, it's gonna be so much bigger.
No, I need that. I need that yesterday. I need that now. Whatever I need, whatever needs to happen. If you need somebody to like lean over and, you know, wave some pom-poms around, why did you tell me about this? I need this now.
Because this is exactly the kind of encouragement I need to actually get it done.
Good. I need that. I need that with a burning passion. Please.
All right, I will after stream. I'll go bug Anthony, and
Okay.
I'll make sure that we've
said it on air now, so. You've said it.
I have said it. That's part of why I said it. That's part of why I said it. It's literally to put myself to the sword and go, all right, we're getting it done. I've wanted to get it done, so we're gonna get it done. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Hi, Namu. Also see Zach pops head in. Awa. Love that. I got What's My Foundation Gonna Make a World for Gaming in tomorrow. Yay! I am tempted to populate a kingdom with ballads. Atomic, you've already made like multiple sports teams. You are one of these people I talk about that's like, let me do this whole thing, and it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. Draconim hype, just flat out make a full out Crusaders Kings mod, right? Oh my gosh, it's Tom Messia too. Hello. Hello.
I love CK, so you're speaking to the right girly. I need that too. I have been working on a space colonization game, and I need a way to simulate things after things are on the ground. I encourage you, Atomic, to come back for when we're doing the geology and ecology sections with this book, because as much, I'm not going to say don't look into the next one when it comes out, but this one might actually be more what you need, because we discussed the whole, here is what challenges you're going to be facing for settling in whatever area for a humanoid species, you know, what you have to figure out, what you have to adapt to. If you can translate that to a science fiction setting, this might be super helpful for you.
But yes. Hi, Namu. Yes, hello. Don't forget your check-ins, everybody. You gotta get your ticket stamped. Your little ticket stamped. Okay. And, Killer accidentally linked to the What's My Motivation instead of What's My Foundation in the pinned message, so now he's, making new pinned messages. So I appreciate you. Thanks for the hustle. Hi, Ghost Prince. Hello. Oh yeah, I forgot that, I did finally put up the Hotful Boyfriend community challenge. It's set to 200,000 feathers, which is not that high, really. And so that will be for part 2. So we'll get on again with the other routes. And ideally, we want to finish the game, like full complete the game. We did 2 routes last time. I think we can do 2 or even 3 routes on the next stream once we hit that goal. Yeah. So if you enjoyed that stream, which I have a feeling people might have enjoyed that stream because it is my most watched VOD of like the past month. I thought we did 3 routes. No, we did Nanaki, and Nageki. I think that's it. I missed Hot to Full stream, need to watch. Yeah. I think we only did those two. Because remember, they were both Claudia. Okay. So we are just, well, the bikers wasn't like a route, so there, you know, it was just like an aside. Okay, so I think we're just going to read through each of these, and then I'll pick the one that I think works the best because I have like a semi-made. Oh goodness! Oh, it's Hexy. Brigador Killers. What kind of game is that? The heck? That sounds interesting. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Hello. Thank you so much for raiding. Hi, 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 hi. For those that don't know me, I'm Hime. I'm a non-binary parrot VTuber. I don't know why I had to pause there. My mind went blank. I'm a VTuber, right? Right? Or is this how I look? I think so. I think so. Or maybe this is just what I look like when I look in the mirror. Who knows? I'm a blue bird.
It's true.
It's true. We don't know. The world may never know.
The world has no idea what you look like.
It's true. I guess that'll change when I go to Offkai. I will wear a mask, but like if you're going to Offkai, I haven't like fully announced it everywhere, but I am going to that. So, anyways, I normally stream tabletop RPGs, usually solo ones. That's my bread and butter. But I do play in group campaigns, as well. And today, I know I put it as a writing stream because I feel like this is technically more of a writing stream than a tabletop stream, but we are world building for my solo TTRPG called Ballads of Dawn. It is a tarot and dice based solo TTRPG. It's kind of like romance fantasy TTRPG, basically. Yeah. I hear JRPG RPG I follow. Thank you so much. Thank you for the follows. Oh my gosh. I have now officially hit 1,400. Thank you.
Let's go.
That is so many people. We're progressing. You know, it's silly, but since I've passed 1,000, every time I look at my follower count, I treat it as like a year in time. You know, like I was like, oh, we're in the 1300s, we're the Middle Ages. Oh no, the Black Plague, and now we're in the 1400s. We're getting closer to like 1492. Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
And that's when everything started going downhill.
Yeah. Well, no, so I did academic decathlon when I was in high school, and one of the years I did it was about the Renaissance. And so we altered that rhyme to be in 1492 Columbus sailed the ocean blue, Lorenzo died, and the Moors were driven from Granada, because we had to remember those two things too. The death of Lorenzo de Medici and the Moors being driven from Granada. That's like what I always think when I see 1492. So I will be weirdly happy when I hit 1492 followers, because I don't know, it's just like that high school throwback. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you for the gift subs. Oh my gosh. No ads for everyone. No ads for anyone, I guess.
Can I tell you, Killer's taken away the #1 sync for all my feathers, because for those of you who don't know, I used to be the person who every time Hime was like, oh god, hold on, I need a second, I would press the ad time redeem instantly.
Yeah. I mean, you still can. I think I get a teeny bit. I think I get a teeny bit of money, but yeah, that is funny. Thank you. The world building, we've barely started. We just started reading a little bit, but you know, I always have a good time with Cassie. Cassie is a good bean. Yeah, thank you for the follows. Yeah, what happened in 14?
Killer, it's changed. But now I need, more importantly, Killer, I need boba pulse.
Pixel. So. Okay, I have been compelled to change my form. You mean?
I can't do too much for you guys, but if you do the same redeem, I can switch to either my mirror B afro or looking like Alex Yick.
Oh my god, I love that. That's so silly.
Those are the two things I can do for you with my Fugi.
Alright, let's see. Let's put away the game controller. We are writing. So there we are.
Hexy redeemed ad time.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can even do ad time right now, because I feel like we just had one, so I think it's on cooldown. Let me see. Oh my gosh, we have a hype train. Never mind, I can do the ad. There's the ad. For no one. Goodness gracious, thank you. Oh my god, what is happening? Goodies. Thank you. Oh my god.
Oh, see, Veritas.
I forgot oh, hi Sam. I even forgot the shoot. Where's the, hang on. There's so much going on. I missed the end of my spiel, which was if you need to raid and run, that's completely okay. Oh my gosh, I almost did the raid command. What am I trying to do? The timer command. Hey guys, did you know that I have ADHD? Did you know? Did you know? Did you know that I have ADHD? Is it obvious? Hi. Oh my goodness. Hang on. There we go. Whoa. There is so much going on. Okay. Sounds very stressful. Okay. Alex Yick is part of the deep lore. It is true.
It's true.
Wait, wrong. Yeah. Hello. But yes, oh my gosh, thank you for the gift subs. Thank you again for the raid. Thank you for the follows. We're at 1400. And then oh my gosh, there's another one.
Raiding with 14 frogs.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Do not free this bird.
All the singers are here. Oh my gosh. So Sev and Strawberry were both in the that same charity concert that I was in recently. Thank you so much for the raid.
Awesome.
Strawberry and I had like a little duet line together. That's my duo partner for like one line of the song. Oh wait, I know you now. Oh yeah. Hi. Thank you for the raid. Oh my god, there's so much. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Let me scroll up to see what she was playing. I think it was on cooldown. Wait. Oh, co-working and studying. Okay, yeah, I hope you had a very productive, wonderful stream. We did, you were so good. No, y'all, Strawberry is the one, like, so in the group song that I was in, Strawberry had like the solo part at the very beginning of the song, and that's like such a fire way to intro that song. You have such an amazing voice, and both you and Seb. I know Seb didn't raid, but Seb is here. But both of you have such amazing voices. Like, it was, that whole concert was so magical. Just loved that whole experience. But Strawberry has such a good voice. Yeah. So, oh my gosh. Thank you both for being here. That's so sweet. Can't wait to sing with you in the future. Yeah! We may or may not, we may or may not, hint, be in something in the near-ish future together as well.
Oh, hi Anthony.
Hello! Oh, he's here, so should I repeat my compellment from earlier?
Sure.
Anthony, we need the book. We need the Cities and Kingdoms book. I need you to invent a time machine and make the book come out yesterday is what I need. Cause I need it like now. Now. So whatever it is I can do to make the book come out now.
Happy Pride.
Please make the book, yeah. The Happy Pride.
I told you there are multiple guns to the back of our heads.
Like, do it now. I need the book now.
I messaged him and I was like, so I might have accidentally dropped the name of the
Yeah. I hope writing is going well. Thank you. Yeah, we are using this world building book that my friend here, Cassie, was involved in making, and we did the kind of world building and religion stuff last stream, and so this stream we're doing the magic system and then the geography. And that's what we're on. And then I got blue screened by all of this stuff going on. Just waiting for go time. I can flex through both. Oh my goodness. Okay. I love that. Please, I need the book. I need it.
We'll do some co-working streams next week. Hmm?
Hey.
We'll he actually no, so he was in charge of the whole thing.
You've been writing a novel. You've been writing a novel.
Oh yeah, he's been killing it for a while.
Just casually like, oh yeah, I'm writing this. Will this be available to look through anywhere? Yes, so actually in my pinned message, there is a link to the game that I am writing, and that's what I'm using this book for, and then also a link to the book itself, which you can get as a print-on-demand book, or you can buy as a PDF, and so it is in the pinned message up there. I highly, highly recommend this world-building book. They also have one for like character background creation, that's also super, super good. I think it's written with like TTRPGs in mind, but I think it would be super useful even if you were writing a novel or something, you know. It's really, really good. So highly, highly, highly
It's definitely
recommend.
TTRPG focused. But,
but I feel like it feels TTRPG with the whole way that you roll and stuff, but I feel like there's nothing, well, okay, not nothing, but I feel like this would work just as well if you were writing a book or like a webtoon or what have you, you know? That's so fire. Yeah, it is. It's so good. Yeah, so if you're at all interested, I highly recommend both books, but just depends on what you're more focused on, I guess. But especially for writing, I think the world building one is really helpful because even me, I've written many things. I have like a background in game writing. I've written some stories as well, trying not to like dox myself. But this book still brings to mind a lot of things that I tend to overlook. You know, just like, oh, you know, what is the biome of this area? What is the whatnot? Stay pixel. Okay. You got it. You got it, boss. Hello. Hello.
And Anthony, yes.
So yeah, it's the magic system, the geography, there was like a whole part in the beginning that we did last stream that we did on this, where we had to think about how was the world even created. And what is the solar system like? And I don't know, it's not something that I would immediately think of when I'm world building. And even if it never actually comes up in the story, it's still helpful for me to know. And you never know, it might come up in the story, you know, so.
You should go back and watch Hime's VOD for that one, because we found something really cool to do with the astronomy for that one.
Yeah, it was super cool. I love I love how we're able to mix that in with the, I don't want to use the word lore, but like the mythology of the world, because this is like a romantic fantasy kind of, if you've read any of those transmigration webtoons, it's like that kind of setting, okay? Like, and so much fun. So I'm excited to get into the magic system because I have some information about the magic written already, but I already know this is going to challenge my thinking in ways that I haven't already thought of, you know. So I'm eating this up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah, get fed. I love that. But
Happy to give you food.
Yes. Yeah, and I need more food. I need the other book. I need the other book now. Now, Anthony. Are you still here, Anthony? Get out of here and write. Come on. I'm just kidding. That was mean. I'm like 80% kidding and 20% serious.
20%. A parrot has landed on your shoulder and begun staring at you.
Write the book. Write the book. Write the book. Bok. Write the book. But yeah. Anyway, I'm Hime. I'm a parrot. I'm non-binary. Happy Pride Month.
Hey.
And I do tabletop RPGs and cozy games and such. And if you have to raid and run, definitely understand. Please take care of yourself. Eat, sleep, hydrate, all the things that you need to do that I'm not very good at. Please do those. But if you want to hang out here, we are about to get into magic systems. Yeah. Still here. We started that book about 4 times, and last I checked, the idea got so big it was discussed splitting it into 2 separate books. Oh my gosh.
That's true.
Amazing.
It's because the problem, I won't go into the rant for too long, but the problem with that book and the problem with this book to an extent is that it's all intertwined. You can't have one thing without the other thing. The reason we had to start at the creation of the world is because unless you're starting at the creation of the world, you can't explain where everything came from or where it's going. And
I love the zoom in over time, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna have to build multiple cities from the ground up to teach you how to do this thing. The good news is we've talked to some really good artists for it, but yeah, holy shit is pretty much what it comes down to.
Love that. Oh my gosh, yeah. You know what? Actually, I'm writing right now, but we're technically just reading. So let me switch animations. Beep 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 beep. There, reading intensely. I love this little pixel model. I love that you guys have been enjoying it too.
It's super cute.
It's so cute. It is live 2D. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it is actually. Okay, we're gonna get to it. I'm sorry. I've started and stopped this paragraph so many times. I love it. Thank you. I'm not complaining. I'm just like, it is a very awa moment. So cute. I know. Thank you. Okay. Oh yeah, regain here is like my model sibling. So the pixels unite. Okay. So we are just going to read through the different ones, and I'm going to pick the one that's closest to what I already have in mind. Some of these tables we've been rolling on. Some of these tables I've just been picking, and I think that's how it should be for these kind of tools, because sometimes you already have an idea in mind. There's no need for everything to be random, you know? So this is true just in TTRPGs in general, but never feel pressured to roll. Sometimes you just want what you want, and that's fine, you know? So, okay. So, global. In a world with global magic, you have a setting in which everyone has magic. This could vary from low to medium fantasy worlds where every character is born with a singular, unique magical gift, to more high magic worlds where the abilities and number of magical features vary from person to person. One way or the other, there is a reason why every person, or perhaps every life form, resonates with mystical energies. Okay. This is... currently, this is where I'm at, because in Ballads of Dawn, everyone has magic. Some people just have stronger magic than others. And in character creation, one of the things you roll on is like what element of magic you have and how strong it is. But we'll see if there's like, we go further in.
Well, I think let's look at the questions to ponder there for a second, because if this is where you're at, let's see if it's where you're staying.
Yeah, would you like to read those?
Sure. I guess I'll ask you. What has happened to the world that grants these powers freely to all? Is it a beneficent flowing stream of energy that's been available since the dawn of creation? Is this the result of a tragic and calamitous accident in the ancient or near past?
Okay. It is a beneficent flowing stream of energy because the magic, so there's two types of magic kind of in the world, and one is just magic, like elemental magic, and then the other one is like divine energy. Which is, that one is granted directly from the gods, right? The elemental magic is from mana, which is just energy in the world around us, so it's just a flowing stream of energy that's everywhere.
Okay, and I guess that sort of answers the second. Is this magic equivalently distributed, or is there still some sort of hierarchical or taxonomical structure to who gains which amount of power? Conversely, is it still a guarantee yet purely chaotic in its distribution?
The way I have it in mind is that it is equivalently distributed, but how much you are able to use is sort of defined. So a lot of webtoons I've seen, they've described magic users as having like a bowl inside, and so how big your bowl is or whatever can kind of, a bigger bowl can hold more water or mana in it, right, is the idea. And so that's the way I have it too. So it is not that some people get more than others, but just like there's a piece of your anatomy, whether it's like a real piece of anatomy or just like a spiritual kind of anatomy, that some can just handle or hold on to more mana than others.
In my world, there are 3 different types of blood cells, and one of them is blue blood cells, and they carry arcana, they carry mana through your body. Something to ask about global magic systems. Is it only sentient creatures in your world that have it, or do all animals, like all beasts, all living creatures, have that little bit of magic?
It's not something I've thought of, which is, I guess, why the ecology section will be important, but I would think I would like it to be even, so even plants and animals can use it to a degree. They may just have smaller magic bowls or what have you, or maybe they're not intelligent enough to know how to use it at will all the time, depending on the thing. But I would like to think that if I think all humans should have magic, then I think everything should have magic, so any living creature should have magic to a degree.
I agree. That's how it works in my world. It's just a question of, are they consciously using it? And sentient creatures obviously have much more of an ability to consciously manipulate that flow of energy. But for example, there's a little bit of magic in a rabbit that it can, it doesn't know it's using to get away from a fox, but maybe it's pumping that tiny bit from its bowl, as you're calling it, into its legs so that it can, get at it there.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I would like. And actually, at first I was like, well, I don't know about so before stream, Cassie and I were sort of planning out how much of the book that we're going to do in today's stream. And she was talking about the ecology section. And I was kind of like, well, there's no combat in my game, so I don't know if the ecology is important. But now that I'm thinking about it, and with this context, I think it's still actually going to be quite important.
Rubbing my elf little hands together. Yes.
Yes. So that'll be, I think we end right before ecology in what we have planned for today. So you'll be able to go full in on the ecology.
All the reason for the rest of you to come back.
Yeah, you must. Now you're compelled. The elf compels you.
It's true. I'm staring at you with my big old eyes and saying,
That's the magic spell.
Walalo. To anyone who got that joke, take your fucking ibuprofen.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. So Anthony has so nicely shared discounted links for both books with us right there. So Killer Flame has linked to them. So if you are interested in the character building book or this world building book that I'm using right now in the stream, there they are with a discount just for y'all. That's so sweet. Thank you so much. You still need to write the other book though.
It's true. But we are bribing you for another month or so.
Yeah.
We need some more time.
Yay. This was meant for a world where every single person could use magic in some form, innate cantrips, basic domestic stuff, etc. But one of my favorite things is that there's no one-size-fits-all with the way it's presented. Everything just has a jumping off point for your creativity. I know, I love that too. Yeah. Okay.
Silverbuster has a good question.
Oh, did I miss it? Scroll. Oh, camera. Question, how do you balance making magic to just blow things up with the more constructive applications in your world building? Focusing on the former turns it into a, this is my unique fighting ability shonen manga, but the latter makes people bored quick.
I can answer this for my world.
Yeah, go for it.
It's a matter of necessity. You've got power, raw power that you can mold. I can't speak for Hime's world directly for this, but in my world, you've got a connection. Effectively, rather than a bowl, think of it like a valve. Everyone's got a valve and a pipe attached to this massive source of magic. And depending on how strong of a caster you are, the more you can open the valve to the pipe, right? So the more high pressure can come out. Well, you've got this energy, and you're learning how to work with it. So what's the first thing people are going to make? Fire. You've got your first evocation spell right there because they're going to use it to help themselves discover fire. Or to harness fire without consuming, other types of resources, etc. What do you have from there? Food, water, shelter. You think Maslow's hierarchy. All of the things that you're going to have first are things that you need, and I think eventually can be repurposed for weapons. Think about the way that things are researched now. You don't have only weapons companies working for the military. You've got all sorts of different sectors of production making things that eventually get adapted into weapons or tactical technology. So if you translate that to magic, what they use to warm their houses, what they use to heat their stoves, that is the blow it up magic. It's just refined. Mm-hmm. Just like compressed air can, it can pump up a tire or it can fire a bullet.
Yeah. I think in Ballads of Dawn setting at least, because the magic is purely elemental, but also Ballads of Dawn is not, I hate saying it like this because it makes me feel like I'm trying to be a pick-me when I'm not, but it's not like other TTRPGs. It is a lot more slice of life. And so there's no combat system, there's no monsters for you to fight. I feel like the system is very modular so that if you wanted to grab your favorite battle system and have battles, that's fine. But there's just no incentive to use the magic in like a blow stuff up way. And that's not the way magic is written in the book, and that's not really the way the system is encouraged for you to do. So that's my personal view of it. But I think from a world building perspective, just purely looking at this book at least, I think it all comes down to like, that's sort of what you said, but sort of two sides of the same coin, because fire can be used to blow, well, same thing with water, right? So water seems like, oh, well, it's good for you, you can drink it, but also if you boil water, it becomes kind of deadly too in its own way, right? So
or even like, think of pressure washer. People, they aim the pressure washer down and cut their toes off.
Yeah. Oh god. But yeah, exactly. So
and Anthony's got a point. No matter which world you're in, step 1, meet needs. Step 2, corrupted to conquer. Step 3, package to sell.
Oh my goodness.
That's
high pressure water can cut you. Yeah.
Some of the strongest spells in most TTRPGs don't less damage. It's true.
I like that Snail Trail has 2 more S's in front of it. Snail Trail. That's cute. Water can kill people. Drowning is a thing. That's also true.
It's true.
It is true.
And I mean, if you go to the Avatar, the last Airbender,
that's exactly what popped
extreme.
into my head. That's exactly what it popped into my head.
Bloodbending was such a fucking... Oh, man.
Oh, by the way, are the world-building VODs saved anywhere else? Are they lost forever to keep up the awesome mystery? I think the other one should be up. It might still be on Twitch. Let me check really quick.
Killer,
did we
you
do
don't
that?
even want to start talking to Chuck about how to improvise with some weird-ass spells. Trust me.
Cassie,
He'll horrify you a little.
Did we do the other world building stream during my Donathon or before my Donathon?
Yes.
We did, right?
It was during the Donathon because I remember specifically saying I wasn't going to bother streaming that night because I wanted everyone to be here. It was early in your Donathon. Okay. I want to say it was like day 4, day 5 or something.
Oh, perfect. The reason I ask is because I've been multi-streaming during the Donathon, so if we did it during the Donathon, the VOD is definitely up. It's on YouTube.
Oh, Killer's on the look.
I can find it. Okay, I have YouTube open, but it is going real slow, so I think I'll leave that to the mod. But yes,
I know at the very least it was a single digit day of the Donathon.
Swag, it's on YouTube. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, I started multi-streaming when the Donathon started, and so now I don't have to worry about uploading VODs anymore, but I have many old VODs that I am still in the process of posting, some from June of last year, so I am very bad at uploading VODs. So that's exactly why I find that was finally the last nail to be like, Hime, you need to multi-stream. You need to multi-stream. We're sick of you not uploading your VODs. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't even have a
YouTube viewer base demands it.
Yeah, it's just the overwhelm of like, it's not just uploading the VOD. I have to think of a title. I have to make a thumbnail. I have to edit the description on YouTube. It's like a whole thing. And when I think of all those steps, I get extremely resistant. It's like an autism thing. The thing is, this is the way it was explained to me by my psychiatrist, and it makes total sense of like, people who are neurotypical will view a task like, cool, this is a task that I have to do, like take shower, right? It's on my to-do list. Me, I can be resistant because instead of take shower, my brain breaks it up into all the steps. So take shower is I have to figure out what to do with my clothes, put the dirty clothes in the hamper, get in the shower, wait for the water to get to the right temperature, lather my hair. It like turns into a whole like 20-step thing, and then I get extremely overwhelmed. And so one task is actually 20 tasks, and then I'm like, I don't want to do it. So upload YouTube VOD is not simply upload YouTube VOD, it's actually 20 tasks. And so
it's fight the entire system of YouTube to upload a YouTube VOD.
And I have to creatively come up with all the titles and blurbs and things, and I'm just like, I don't want to do it. But yeah, I know it's not an excuse.
Exchange, it wouldn't be so much create water, more pull water from surroundings. When applied to air, it pulls the moisture, but the same could not work on an organic life form. Evil. Now that's a good question, though, isn't it? The law of equivalent exchange, or if you like, the law of conservation of matter. How much do laws of physics bound your magic system? Because for some systems, for one of the things in my system, if you want to test whether or not something's magical, is it obeying the law of conservation of matter? Because probably not. Although you can argue that the mana is being converted into energy, blah, 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 blah. Sort of, kinda. But you can break the laws of physics. Some systems you can't.
Yeah.
And I guess in Ballads of Dawn, you're probably not going to interface with any of the magic powerful enough to worry about any of that kind of thing, but it's good to know for your own systems.
It's purely for flavor, not for flavor, but it's like there's no spell lists or anything. It's purely like, okay, your character has strong fire magic, and then that's something you can use in your scenes when you're answering prompts. Just like, okay, a monster came out, or oh no, there's a I don't know, we need to make a whole bunch of popcorn for this popcorn party, but what do? Oh, I can use fire magic to pop all the I don't know, so it's that's something to really think about, though, because if you at least in slice of life, romance, etc., if you're doing that town building, what's important is knowing what all is needed for the town to function. Yeah. If only we included a physics chapter that allowed you to tweak the laws of physics. Oh yeah, there's an addendum for that at the back of the book. Not a physics chapter.
We went back and forth for so long on whether or not that should exist. But my thought is to figure out how useful and how customizable the magic is important, because that kind of determines the makeup of your societies a bit, right? Like if you won't have, for example, like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think of a profession that was not treated altogether too well.
Like money lenders?
Yeah, not necessarily. Like if
in
you end
like
up with,
that
for
part
example,
of, you know, because this is like semi, you know, these webtoons have that
Hello,
semi-Victorian,
Tier 1 Club to say that I
semi-medieval
just-
kind of time, you know.
yeah, I mean, there's probably like hell. There's probably discussions between blacksmiths, some who use
Right.
magical fire, some who use what they consider
gosh.
to be organic flames, and
True.
whether or not those are, you know, whether or not one
No.
style or the other affects what you're doing.
That's so cool. I never even thought of that. And actually, I'm glad. Is there like a section in this book about like technology levels and stuff?
No, that's something considering for the next book, because we don't hit society. We hit communication, where we have to like sort of kind of touch on it, but we try to avoid going into society itself, because either that's bounded by the game you want to make, the story you want to tell, or in some cases the system you're in.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Well, I mean, I guess you can kind of call it that.
Because that was something my friend asked about today. She was like, what level of technology is our setting at? You know, do they have electricity? Do they have this? I was like,
And then there's always the line of the whole, like, you know, sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. People need to consider that it is the other way around. Sufficiently mundane magic is indistinguishable from technology. You could have a little rune on a wall that you press and it makes a rock on the ceiling glow. Is it functionally any different from a light switch and a light bulb? No.
No. Yeah,
but
true.
that's maybe they didn't figure out electronics in your world because they had the rock on the ceiling, and, you know, they had things that they just never needed to figure out, this kind of thing. And I think if you think about how versatile your magic is and incorporate that into the founding of your societies, you can add a whole bunch of like really, really cool immersive flavor.
So this is a brief aside, but it's like it's related, but this is why I love the setting for this TTRPG called Machine Gods of the Noxian Expanse, because it's a Black Oath game, but the whole setting is like, at some point they had very advanced technology with AI and all of this stuff, but now it's been so many years and nobody knows how to fix those systems anymore, and the AI are seen as gods, hence the machine gods. And I love that twist on, like, instead of it being, you know, futuristic tech, now it's like, well, the tech is the so-called futuristic tech is actually seen as like antiquated, and now the world is doing magic and other things instead. It's really interesting.
So what Silverbuster said here, more magic begets less technological development. Iron Age forever if you can already make everything else work with magic. That's part of my arguments for, and I know we're talking, you know, TTRPGs broad. That's my argument for no guns in D&D/Pathfinder. It's not, oh, they can't make them in that time. We can argue all day about gunpowder. Why did they need it?
Yeah.
You can utter some words, point a stick at someone, and they just die.
Yeah.
You want to add a reload to that? The hell are you smoking? Like that's the kind of, but that's the kind of thing though that you think, oh yeah, no, of course, guns make sense in our world, but don't make sense in a world with this. Or, you know, hell, if you want to really look at it, hunger. Why the hell does hunger exist in a world in which the laws of physics don't matter and we can conjure food from nothing?
Yeah.
Half the reason I find WotC's D&D world to be so ridiculous is they have all the problems of modern society and scarcity with the existence of create food and water as a spell.
Yeah, it's true.
The hell you mean you got people starving to death? Bro, it's like a level 2 spell.
Arguably, guns might make sense for people without magic to level the plane. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, okay, well, I can't cast fireballs, so I'm gonna shoot, like, some fire kind of out of a stick.
Sure, and if you don't have a global magic system, tagging back to the book, it makes more sense for you to have the guns. The less magic you have, like Silverbuster said, the more people have to rely on technology for innovation.
Read Physics and Magic Conversation if you're a physics nerd, and love fantasy. You should check out the Young Wizards series by Diane Duane. She's a physics nerd that started out writing novels for Star Trek and stuff that carried over into YW, where the main enemy is entropy itself. Wow, that's so metal.
That's really cool.
That's really cool. Okay, next paragraph.
Yes.
You know, I think methinks I don't know if we're gonna make I don't know if we're gonna make it to geography.
Let's just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, you know what? You're so right.
We'll get where we get.
Yeah, we'll get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Inherited. Where magic is inherited, we introduce the concept of family lineage or bloodline powers. This ensures that particular descendants retain much power while over time other bloodlines are diluted. Does this origin story stem from descendants of the gods themselves? Have they benefited from being one of the progenitor races? Or were there extra normal magical creatures involved in the changing of average, quote unquote, human ancestries? You must also decide how many of these powerful bloodlines have been introduced into the world and how they get along or not with each other. I still want to read these, even though I don't think that they apply to my world, because it's super cool. But yeah.
And to consider whether or not there's a little bit of the flavor you want to grab.
Yeah. I don't think any of this is genetical. It's purely happenstance. Let me look at what did I write in the book for magic? Oops. Didn't mean to minimize that. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to the wow, the word just popped out of my head. Obsidian. Okay, so what do I have?
This is going to be a 27-part series, and you know what? You're going to love every episode.
You will. It is true.
9 seasons.
Magic. What is that?
That just says why? Because I mentioned my old job, and now everybody wants to buy you time. Let's go. And the movie. Listen, the movie's just going to be we keep teasing the new book in a world.
Yeah. Ad time is so silly though. It's just a shiny button at this point.
That's great.
Okay.
I got rid of the button that says pay Cassie's bills because I always forget where the button is to actually play the ad. So I just got rid of it. Oh
no. I have it on my my Stream Deck. I keep forgetting that button is there, so I push the button on OBS, but like I actually do have a button for it. Magic. Everyone is born with oh yeah, no, I already said that. All living things, plants and animals included, have magical ability on some level. Dang, I already thought of this.
Where'd you go?
Everyone is born with at least a little magical ability, which typically manifests around age 5. Each person naturally specializes in one element type set at birth, but of course exceptions exist. Elemental magic draws on mana from within the life form, so the strength of the magic can vary wildly. Mana regenerates with rest. People can train to have a bigger mana pool to draw from, but only up to their own natural limit. Elemental magic does seem to be hereditary. If a person's parents both specialize in water magic, for example, it is highly likely that they will also. Oh, okay, so there is some. But only insofar as, like, this is the element that you have, not as far as, like, the strength. The mana pool is located within the lungs or breathing apparatus of each life. When did I write this? You know, sometimes when you write things sometimes, and then you step away for a while, and then it's like, who wrote this?
Who wrote this?
Clearly I wrote this, but I don't remember writing this.
I get that. I do, looking at this though, I think I know what kind of character I would play playing this game.
Right.
Someone with like a magic that doesn't fit into any of them, some sort of psychic.
Yeah, right. The mana pool is located within the lungs, and that's why I put exceptions exist, so that if you want something else, you can. The mana pool is located within the lungs or breathing apparatus of each life form, because I have like sea elves and stuff that have gills, and so I had to put that. Breathing apparatus of each life form with mana clustering at the ends of the bronchi for humanoids. Exhaling is necessary to cast magic and use the mana from within, which many people have adapted into speaking or singing, though those are not strictly necessary to cast magic. Technically, you just need to exhale, but you know, it's more fun to sing or speak words, right?
It's true.
There are potions that can be used to amplify mana, but overuse can cause respiration issues, which makes sense. The strongest... I thought of that. That's great. The strongest mages have quite high lung capacity.
It's funny, because we have very, very similar systems here, because that's how the lungs are delivering not only oxygen to the red blood cells, but arcana to the blue blood cells. Yeah. And so if your breath is cut off, you're not able to cast spells.
Right. Wait, I think I was here when you made this. Yeah, so did we do Arcana on the last stream? Now I don't know, because...
No. We definitely didn't, because we would have looked at this.
Okay, that's fair. Gotta put some
I don't
swag
know.
on
Yeah,
your
we
exhale.
definitely.
Oh, hi, Izzy! Thanks for the head pats. I don't know. Whatever, it's fine.
I think Chuck's saying he might have been hanging out in call with me and Anthony when we were working on this chapter.
Oh, okay. The vast majority of people only have enough magical ability to do mundane things such as light a candle, purify water, help plants grow, or levitate light objects a few times per day before their mana pool is exhausted. People who have above average magical ability are referred to as mages. Groups of mages band together in covens. Major covens are even known to construct or occupy buildings, aka enclaves, where the mages of their group can meet and train together. Divine power is stronger than magic and more rare. I say more rare instead of rarer. Every time I go through this book, I find, like, mistakes. Even today when I was showing my friend, I was like, ooh, that's a grammatical mistake right there. Only about 1 in 100 people have divine power, which is a blessing bestowed upon specific individuals by the gods themselves. This is separate from one's magical ability, so strange combinations like specializing in fire magic while having a blessing from Quarren, goddess of the sea, can happen. Divine power draws directly from the gods, not the caster's mana pool. The blessed person acts as a conduit between the gods and the mundane world, so it can be a significant physical strain to use divine power. One must train hard to wield it properly without tiring themselves. Divine power, which isn't always distinguishable from elemental magic when the caster is young, can be verified at temples. Priests are required to provide this verification service for free to all who ask for it. This blessing of divine power can rarely occur at birth, but more often is granted later in life after the individual does something to catch that god's attention. Those who have divine power often join the holy order of the god who bestowed it upon them, but it's not a requirement. The gods can revoke their blessing, though this is rare and seems to historically only happen when the caster has deeply displeased their god. Magical creatures exist. They each fall under the purview of one of the gods and can be at odds with one another and with humans. Most magical creatures are more or less chaotic neutral. Okay. So that's the magic section of my book. Currently.
Which, like Anthony said, you could argue it's a mix.
Yeah.
Worth at least considering some of the questions under inherited just to see if it stirs creative juices.
Okay, yeah. Oh, Atomic says we talked a little about this before ending the stream, but we didn't actually open the chapter. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Do you want to read the questions to ponder for inherited?
Sure. How did these magical lineages begin? Was it a result of commingling and marriage, supernatural giftings, or some kind of forced intrusion upon normal life?
Oh, bye, Ender!
I suppose we can kind of just read through these because these don't apply to you.
Yeah.
Or do they?
The element type is genetic, but not the type of, like, not how big your bowl is or anything like that, so they just, so there's not really a magical lineage per se.
Have these magical inheritances remained strong throughout the years, or have they weakened with family connections to non-magical beings? To what lengths have some of these bloodlines gone to preserve the purity of their inheritance?
I'm sure there must be at least one family out there that's been like, no, we want everyone in our family to have water magic, so we will only mingle with other water magic users, but I just don't really see it's probably not a common thing, because what is the point?
I guess one question I would have, you said that it tends to be hereditary. What if you have, like, enough mixing? Like, you have your mother is fire magic, but her mother was fire magic, her father was water magic, then like, her husband is earth magic, etc., etc. Like, does it have, like, recessive and dominant traits almost?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, so that might be why it's mostly hereditary, but if you have like a random fire person, then there probably was. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I think I just realized I forgot to put the PDF.
Like, can it skip generations is also a good question. Like, you've got a family that seems like they've all got water magic. All of a sudden the kid starts breathing fire, and it turns out that, like, your grandmother on your mother's side.
Okay.
Why does our daughter Sodium refuse to use water magic?
You know what? So I think that it should be hereditary in that sense then. So instead of saying that it seems to be hereditary, but there can be, that's why it says exceptions exist, because occasionally you do have people with more than one specialty. Yes, the Wetsons. Oh my gosh, that's so silly. Oh, holy mackerel! A fish that's been to church a few times. You did it! Hang on. Where did I say that it was hereditary? Okay. Elemental magic is hereditary. Instead of does seem to be able to say it is hereditary.
Mendel elemental genetic charts when Runic Press will turn your TTRPG into a textbook or your money.
Right. However, if 2 water magic parents have, I've changed it now to elemental magic is hereditary as far as the elemental type. If a person's parents both specialize in water magic, for example, it is highly likely that they will also. However, if 2 water magic parents have a fire magic child, it means one of the parents' ancestors had to have been a fire magic user. Yep.
Yeah, fair enough.
The, I do want to mention here, maybe it's here. Where was it? Manifest, naturally specializes, excelling, people, only up to their own natural limit. Okay. The natural limit of a person's mana pool is random, not genetic. I do want to say that. So you can't, I don't want any eugenics of like, oh, I take these 2, I'm gonna marry this super powerful person, so we have super powerful babies. We're not doing that. So it is completely random. And I think the gods even were like, we don't want this.
Yeah.
So they thought of that. That would be a cool tragic story if that wasn't something they thought of and that happened and they were like, no, and then randomized it.
We tried eugenics exactly once and 8 of the gods got involved.
Yeah, all of the gods were like, no.
Yeah,
We
no.
don't like it. I'm actually going to add a note on that.
New book, what's
kinda...
my tax bracket? Dad! You stop that?
It's not a pun, I just feel like you deserve food.
Oh. Atomic says, in Birthright, when the heroes of the gods replaced the current gods, those fighting at their ascension were blessed with magic. Their descendants inherited their magic, and it could be stolen by another noble in the heart.
You laugh, but economics will be heavily involved in one of the upcoming books. Of course it would be.
No, of course. I mean, how are you going to do society without economics of some sort? But
I'm putting this in the notes, so it's not actually in the book yet. Yeah, it may never be, but it is a detail that I want to remember that I may add later. This led to some practices where some noble families would purpose.
those with the autism have to ask, what's my tact bracket? Atomic, you can't just say that, bro. Editor's note, yes you can, but... I will write as obtusely as Adam Smith, so I too will be equally loved and hated by all. It's rather inversely Machiavellian. So here's another question. Are powers like any sort of enchantment or psychic, like, you know, what you would consider to be like charms or scrying type things? Are those like air elements, or are those powers only granted by divine
I
magic?
think that would probably just be divine magic. If it's not elemental, if it's not purely elemental, it would be under the purview of divine magic. I see a YouTube question. This question, sort of inspired by Mesoamerican. If speaking as how magic is cast, how would writing become an afterthought in most societies? Ooh. That is interesting. I do have in mind that it's because magic is like, or mana collection is in the lungs, at least in my world. It's not so much speaking as it is just exhaling. People decided to just add it into speaking and singing to make it more interesting, because technically you can cast magic purely by exhaling. But we had a similar kind of thought tree earlier when we were talking about like, oh, well, if you have magic, then why bother with certain types of technology? So kind of similar here. If you cast magic via speaking, would writing be important? I mean, I guess still you still want to communicate ideas without necessarily casting magic, right?
So I'd actually argue, I think it's more important, because if speech were to mean something for it, you'd want to make sure, even if like, let's say we know behind the curtain that it's the exhaling that matters, not the actual spoken word. They have no way of knowing this, and would probably think of it in such a way where you don't want to mispronounce something lest your magical effects not come out with intent. I think there would be detailed pronunciation guides. I think people would be a lot more literate than they are, and I think people would be very particular with what they say. In fact, I think that's probably one huge thing that comes from a speech-based or language-based magic system, is if everyone's got magic, and speech can lead to magic, you must be particular with your words lest you accidentally cast something. Intent is important in quite a few systems, but not all of them.
Yeah.
There's a question, how important is intent for casting in your system?
I think intent is the most
You definitely
important thing.
want to not misspeak if you think you're going to blow up your friends.
Yeah. I think intent is very important, especially because you can just do it by exhaling. So what you say is actually not that important. It's the intent that matters. You're like using your mind to give shape and form and power to the mana as you exhale it.
And so it's not the stumbling on your words and the mispronunciation that causes the spell to fuck up. Or to mess up. Sorry, I'll be better on your stream, I promise. I'm going to try.
You're good. I know well.
But it's not actually the mispronunciation. It's the shock of anxiety and nerves when you mispronounce it, messing with your intent. And they get spread to, don't mispronounce things, this, that, the other thing, but it's actually a self-fulfilling prophecy. Everyone's so nervous about mispronouncing things that it always throws you off when you do.
Yeah. Aw. We need to get Cassie
Blowing
a
up your
curse
friend's
word button so she can self-censor for comedy. Listen, I've said this before, and I appreciate my friends for being mindful, but I don't care if other people curse. This is just a self-limitation purely because I am very influenceable, and if I'm constantly cursing, I am definitely going to accidentally curse when I'm at work, and that is going to be a major problem.
For me, it comes down to, I understand that I am allowed to do this thing that you do not normally do in the online equivalent of your house. However, I am in your house and will do my best to abide by your tradition.
Yeah, which is pretty much the stance my friends take, and I really appreciate that, even though you guys don't have to worry about it. Too nervous, tried to light the barbecue and blew up my house. So how would a mental disability person work? Just minor inconveniences or, oh no, blow up stuff? That is an interesting thought. I guess it still comes down to intent, right? And so I guess at least in ballads, if you have someone with like a mental disability, that's an interesting thought.
That's a question of the intent-based magic system, right? Yeah. Because if you've got someone who is, for example, unintelligible speech, right? Their disability makes it so you truly cannot understand what they're saying. Intent, for example, in Hime's system, this person would be able to cast just fine because they have the intent, they're able to exhale.
Yeah.
But if you're in a system where it's the language that matters and just like you've got someone, let's say you know, you've got people who have that encephalitis type thing. You're locked in your body. You have so much intent. You have your pool of magic, but you can't say what you need to say. I feel like that's where you start ending up in some situations. Hell, if you want to go to a bit of a darker setting, you can end up with some societies where it doesn't quite seem like you run into too many mentally disabled people. And that's because when they start casting magic and it has uncontrollable effects, the government just kills them.
Yeah.
Like, you could go super, super accessibility focused with this. You could go super, super oppressive and nasty with this.
Yeah.
It really depends on what kind of vibe you want your system and setting to have and how you want the response to be. Because that's the cool thing. You're God. If you want to leave a problem for your heroes to solve, leave that problem for your heroes to solve. Things can be, and this is something just a little pet peeve of mine. You can put problematic stuff in your setting. The world is not going to be sanitized. Do not feel bad about putting problems in your setting because your players need something to overcome.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I don't endorse any sort of slavery or trafficking. You want to know what exists in my world? Slavery and trafficking. You want to know who does that? The bad guys.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. I feel like with intent-based speech magic, unless magic is a universal language, it becomes obvious it's intent-based because other languages exist. Also true.
Either that or you never end up with you actually end up with a true conlang.
Yeah. Oof.
Not due to any cultural whatever, but due to a necessity of, well, people keep blowing themselves up.
Yeah.
This is the language of the gods and this is the one we need to speak because otherwise, you know, the infinite source of magic could misinterpret the sounds we're making.
Yeah. Interesting.
But but Snark, I agree that if you have multiple different languages, it does make sense. The intent is necessary there.
Yeah. In my world, for ballads, because ballads is overall, I mean, okay, that you can definitely make non-cozy things in ballads, and there's definitely prompts that are not cozy at all. So I'm not saying it isn't. I would even hesitate to call ballads fully a cozy game, but I think that in terms of world building, it is a little bit more cozy just because it is intent based. That's why exhaling, it's not so much based on the word. So in my setting, I like the idea of, like, you know, you have a mentally disabled person who is still able to cast magic just fine, but also that the vast majority of people, even with magic, can only use it for mundane things anyway. So it's not going to be a matter of like, oh no, this mentally disabled person is like slicing people up and setting entire villages on fire. Like, that's just not going to happen, probably.
No, but there could certainly be an interesting...
yeah.
You could have a very interesting plot line of, you know, something a la COVID, a respiratory infection that racks a bunch of mages and all of a sudden they can't exhale like they need to.
Yep. And that's why I have it where, yes, there's potions that can enhance your magic ability, but then it causes these respiratory problems because it's like messing with this part of your body that's used to do these things. But yeah, ballads is what you make of it, yeah. Or the opposite.
I like Atomic Slate.
Keepers, yeah. Maybe a god of illusion would bless someone, but now their intent is very detached from reality. Also true. Yeah. I feel like
you could also have a mentally healthy person cutting up villages. Well,
True.
Yes, but if you're role-playing as Trogdor the Burninator, there's different systems for that.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, you could do that in ballads, yes. Is ballads maybe the best system for you to do that? I don't think so.
Is there a Trogdor solo RPG? Someone get the Homestar Runner guys on the line.
I have
an idea.
There has to be, right? There's gotta be.
Sure. Surely.
Yeah, I think this more so comes down to the type of magic being used. Something like rune casting, another runic pressed product, would 100% be a language thing, but something like typical 5e spells could 100% be intent-based due to the various languages present in said system. Well, in D&D, they have different types of magic, right? So there's ones that are verbal and the ones that have a verbal component and ones that don't. So there is like a mix of things. For magic, at least. Like, there's several different tags that they use. Like, is there a verbal component? Does it have to have, like, do you have to have this little glass bead in order to cast this spell? They all have, which sometimes I feel like a lot of D&D campaigns I've been in, we sort of hand wave those things, and the only ones we seem to care about are, like, is it a concentration spell and is it verbal or not? But the other ones are kind of important.
D&D specifically, at least like 5e, your casting focus takes care of a lot of that. But, I mean, as far as, like, the one thing that I will give D&D that I really like about the spellcasting components way of doing things, is that that's connecting back to the, you know, everything in the natural world. Like, seriously, you know, fireball was a little bit of bat guano or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like these things that you find in nature, utilizing the magics of the world. That's the one bit of that Vancian magic system that I adore, and I love that. I wish, if it weren't for the fact that, like, and a lot of things, just a tip for world building in general. If you're writing for background, if you're writing for lore, if you're writing for your novel, go nuts. But think about it like this. If I wanted to run a fantasy adventure campaign, and I wanted to make it so that you have to be more in tune with the world, this, that, or the other thing. And there are no casting foci because I think that's dumb, for example. And I'm like, you know, I don't want you to have this thing to jump past that. I want you to have to go collect all these spell components. Well, then you better make collecting the spell components really damn fun and adventurous, because otherwise you've added a very, very annoying grindy bit to the game that people don't want to interface with. And you'll end up hand waving it and writing in a bunch of shops that just sell a bunch of magic components anyway. And so all your thing will end up with is longer inventory sheets. So at the end of the day, consider, is this thing that I'm writing for lore going to mess with my mechanics? If so, how am I willing to either A, bend my lore around the mechanics of my intended system, or B, and this is what I more suggest, how am I going to flavor whatever system to fit my lore?
Yeah, and that the synergy between the lore and the actual system and game mechanics is so important, because there's so many systems that don't connect in that way, and it's annoying. Preach, elf friends. Hi, Savara. Good to see you. But yeah, yes, exactly.
Oh, Killer, I have opinions. Don't you worry. You're going to hear a lot of them over the course of it.
Okay, so you have one more question to ponder, and then we can move on.
Yes. What do individuals with bloodline powers think of those without magic? How do they interact with creatures from other bloodlines? I guess
doesn't apply.
The first one doesn't really apply, but the second one, is there any bad blood between the different types of casters? Or
I don't think so. There shouldn't be. Because there's no inherent benefit, and it's not like any one element is better than the others. It's just they're all different, that's all. But yeah, it doesn't apply to me, but it is important for worlds that do have inherited stuff. Yeah.
I have an important question regarding this.
Okay.
Where did the elements split? We know where your origins came from. We've gone over your gods.
Yeah.
If the magic initially came from the gods or from the source of magic, think of it like, you know, light going through a prism. Where did the white light come from? What's the prism? And did the people, like, is it separated a la Avatar The Last Airbender into different cultures have different things? Do all different cultures have different randomized magics? Because with the way that you've made it work, where certain genetics, like the element itself is genetic, the strength is not. You end up, even if they weren't initially trying to make, you know, waterbender land or this, that, or the other thing, if you have enough people in one area, you will eventually have that become the dominant magic trait. And so you will eventually have a society, like over time, over long enough, even if there's even one couple more of a certain magic type, over time, if you don't account for immigration or whatever, you're going to have areas of condensed one sort of magic. And so I would wonder what effect that has on culture.
That's a good point that I
Or do they have a way to avoid that?
That is a very good
And that leads to a very interesting question, actually. How old is your world? Because if they've only had, for example, 5,000 years, right, you've only had so many generations. But if the world's been around for 20,000 years, then you probably have very condensed areas of certain types of magic, because that little weight towards any of them would have had more time for an exacerbated effect.
Yeah. I think you're,
Here, while you think on that,
right.
I'm going to grab some water.
Okay. Hadn't thought of this at all. Wow. That like scratches an itch in my brain that I didn't know that I had, but I'm just like, I think even if that's not what I intended, I think it does have to lead to areas. It does have to lead to areas that... Now, here's the thing, is I believe there's 5 elements. Hang on. That's actually in the character creation section. Creation is very long. Magic.
Oh yeah, I'm back.
Come on. Magic. Nope, that's not the right. No, there's only 4 elements. Crap. I was gonna say there's 5 continents, so that's perfect, but there's 4 elements, so. Okay, I do think that the world has been around for, like, maybe, I want to say less than 10,000, but more than 2,000. But, like, it's not like, because the gods created everything, it's not a sense of, like, oh, we started with amoebas that evolved into, you know, humans over time. Well, it's like, they've been here from the beginning.
Yeah, and we're looking at how long has the, you know, society more accurately, because the world itself, if we're looking at our world, right, the world could be 4.8 billion years old, but you only have 10,000 years of actual, like, Homo sapiens with some form of agriculture. So it depends where you want to put the line.
Not even humans in the world. Intelligent life have been around for, I don't know, maybe 4,000 years? 3,000 years? 4,000 years? I like 4,000. I'm just gonna say 4,000 years. And if I have to, I'm putting this in the notes, not in the book, so if this ends up changing later, I think that's fine. I do think that with the way that the world was, it's like Earth-like, but the continents are very large. So I think that compared to Earth, this planet has more land than it does water.
Oh, Anthony says page 94, there's a table for it. I totally forgot this was in the book. Yeah, we have a table for World Age, apparently. I forgot.
Oh, here.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I forgot that this was part of the history section.
3
it
major
makes
and
sense
6
that it is.
minor. Yeah, but this would make sense. This is a bit later. But this is something, I'll just put this down for now, and then we'll come back to it. I like the 3 major and 6 minor events. You know, we did something similar to this when we, when I was playing Fabula Ultima with my group, because there's a whole world building section, and it's like you have to decide on major events that happened in the history of the world. So it kind of reminds me of this. It's a lot of fun. That was such a fun exercise.
We have something similar to that kind of thing.
Yeah. All right, so I think 4,000 years. We'll come back to that when we get to that part of the book, but I think that is good to know. And I think also, I agree that it probably was kind of Avatar-like, where you had Fire Kingdom, Water Kingdom, kind of in the far past, but just now it's been several thousand years and we've sort of homogenized and moved past that. But there are areas of the world where it's still mostly one element.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I think a lot of it comes down to how accessible is intercontinental transportation.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
If you have enough boat travel.
Yeah. Plus you have magic, you have demigods that can run super fast and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. You got teleporting, blah, blah, blah. If you have the means to move around, it doesn't matter where you were born. Like, you have that mobility, then your world's going to be a lot more diverse.
Yep.
That's one thing to consider
the
also.
Naruto route of mixing 2 types.
As mentioned earlier, the whole portrayal does not mean approval or however you worded it, or it doesn't mean endorsement.
Yeah.
Consider, when looking at the diversity of your world, how feasible is transport? How feasible is migration? If you have, for example, an island in the middle of the world with, like, it's got a society on it, but it's surrounded by riptides or whatever, and you don't have strong ships in your world, that island is not going to be very diverse.
Yeah.
That island is going to be a genetic hotspot.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go on.
No, go ahead and finish. That's okay.
I forgot instantly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good.
The riptides, not very diverse.
Oh, yeah. But then if you have a society like we're talking about, where it's like, it doesn't matter if where you start out isn't very diverse. If you can teleport, you've got planes, trains, and automobiles and all different ways of moving around the world, then you're going to have a much more diverse world, a lot more, integrated. But if you've got, think of it back in like the 1200s, where you had Marco Polo going, from Europe to China, and it took him 5 years.
Yeah.
There weren't a lot of Europeans in China back in 1200 AD. Guess why?
Right.
But if they could teleport there, you would have seen a lot more Europeans in 1200 AD China. So, consider that kind of thing.
We don't have teleportation, but I think with the prevalence of magic and how the gods, most of the gods are pretty active, like they come down and do stuff and mess with people, I think it, while there are definitely going to be pockets that are very not diverse, I think the majority of the world by now has moved past that. Forgotten Tag says, marriage sharing and bloodline tracking might be a thing. I hear older villages do that. Sharing as in moving different people of different magic capabilities around. Yeah, for sure. I think that's like a historical precedent as well. So yeah, I'm gonna type this up in the distant past.
And I love that by looking at all of this, right, we're not just building the world that you're in, but we're building that history for your more learned people to know. And we can know what the people who have studied understood that the more uneducated don't know. You can start figuring out what the things are that are, the way the world works, that your educated class will understand. And hell, you can even get down to something like, institutional lies.
Yeah.
Not in your world specifically, because I don't know if it's got that kind of thing, but the lies they tell us all to keep us complacent, like that kind of thing could exist if people with access to this kind of magic and this kind of information have a good way to keep it from the public. And without, again, think about, there is a communications chapter later, hint for everybody else, but you think about how accessible is the transport of people, how accessible is the transport of information? Do you have, your D&D sending spell? Do you have the equivalent of a phone? Are you still traveling? Are you still sending information by birds? Are you not able to do that at all because you're in a, Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind type thing, where if anything ends up where it's not already, it instantly gets poisoned to death? Like that kind of crap.
Yeah.
Rex, I have not seen One Piece, so I cannot confirm nor deny, but I am going to trust your context clues and say yes, exactly like that.
Yeah. Well, and I do think that there were some, because of exceptions and blessings from the gods, that also may have helped, inject a bit of randomness into things, because there are sometimes people that will have more than one specialty. So then if they have a child, the child could have either specialty, right? So there is some, because it's genetic, that means that there can be some genetic mutations randomly at times, right? So
has there ever, I guess 2 questions then. Yeah. Has there ever been an Avatar TM?
I think there would have to be.
Someone who's, I guess, how common is that? Because if we're talking, the genetics are how likely you are to get one of them, that's one thing. But if it can mix, then I think you start heading into the potential eugenics territory again, because then you've got families trying to create avatars. You've got people trying to make the Omnicaster.
Yeah, I think because it's so random, that even if they tried to do that, but also because I've now made it canon that my gods are very against eugenics, that it's so random that all it is it introduces more randomness. So even if you did have the avatar that can use all 4 types of magic, all it means is their descendants can have any of the 4. It doesn't make it doesn't make it more likely that they will have. So
it's not genetic. If you have the mutation because this is almost looking at evolution in a way, right?
Yeah.
Let's use Chuck's example where he says someone with both air and water magic using both to make ice. So you've got an ice mage effectively. Yeah. Is that now genetic? Is that a mutation that you can pass on, and now anyone in that family line is ice mages? Or
but I think the way I have magic working with exhalation and specialties is that you can't mix them. Even if you do have 2 specialties, it just means you need to switch between the 2. Now, you can work together as a water mage with an air mage to make ice, but I don't think a singular person would be able to do that with the way I have magic envisioned. Also, the avatar might not actually be powerful. They might just have mundane abilities in multiple... Exactly.
Sure,
because
but
they could have also just been born with the not so big mana bowl or whatever. So
yeah, I don't. But just as someone who's bred competitive Pokemon,
Yeah.
let me tell you, that means some of them are powerful. You will
Yes.
eventually strike that IV bonus.
It's true.
Where you've got something with 631s.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't. God, I was about to say something a little messed up.
Each element is breathed out differently and separately. They can't mix during the process. I like the way that you said that. I'm going to.
I love that.
I am going to put that directly into the book. Thank you. Because that's a much, like, I was trying to say that and failing to find the words, but that's perfect. Where did I say? Exceptions exist. Okay. However,
and you know what this leads to for biology dorks? If you have dragons in your setting, this leads to some very interesting structures of lungs in different types of dragons that breathe different elements.
Yeah. Okay, so I've added this now. There are a rare few people born who have multiple elemental specialties. Or I should say more than one. More than one elemental specialty. However, each element is exhaled differently and separately. Inhaled and exhaled differently and separately. They can't mix during the process. Okay, cool. Perfect. Yay. This is so cool.
I'm really having fun with
idea.
this.
That is being stolen, yeah. The breathing thing is also very Demon Slayer, which is cool. True! I didn't even think of that. That's so fun.
Hey man, it's been 2 hours and we've made it like 5 pages.
Did we even make it 5 pages? I don't think we did.
I don't know!
Okay, so we started on page 36, right? We are now on page 38. We've made it.
Let's fucking go!
We've made it 2 pages. But we're having such a good time.
I'm enjoying, and we're making such good content.
We are.
And that's what matters.
So good.
Making the good stuff for the game.
I think all TTRPGs need a Cassie and Epic to ask those questions we others can't think of. That's why you need to get these books. That's what the books are for.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. OMG, the Big Bad is a genetic abomination with multiple sets of lungs to allow multicasting. Oh,
I know you said multiple sets of lungs, but for some reason what I pictured was some guy with just like multiple sets of bagpipes in his torso.
At a snail's pace. Also, Hamon from JoJo's is all about breathing, which eventually becomes stands. Oh my gosh, he just breathes several stands into existence.
I'm not going to give Hirohiko Araki the benefit of the doubt and say stands came from Hamon. He changed his mind. He shoehorned the Hamon in and he changed his mind and he wanted to write a different story, and that's okay.
Bagpipe.
But it's Hirohiko Araki and we don't have to make excuses for him, okay?
Bagpipe lungs. Oh man, it's so fun. But I mean this is what we're gonna get to in the ecology section, because there's, by Jove, gonna be animals that have, for whatever reason, multiple sets of lungs or something, right?
Just a wide snake.
Wait, you could have a cobra, but the hood is like, each side of the hood is like a different lung, so it can cast fire and water magic at the same time. So instead of shooting venom, they just shoot boiling water at people. That's awful.
You've got like a hyper intelligent squid underwater with 10 lungs. It's the single most magical creature on the planet, and all it can do is shoot a massive inkjet.
Wait, I love this so much. I'm so excited for the ecology section now. This is so silly. Is it necessary for the game? Heck no. Am I still super excited to do it?
Exactly
Heck yes.
it. I love making things for my world that don't need to exist. There's a really cool bird in my world that I designed with Eshi. You know what it's got? On the bottom, it's like a bluebird. On the top, it has very light blue feathers with clouds. And on the bottom, it has a night sky.
That's
so
beautiful.
it can fly, and it can fly either upside down or right side up. So the bird can determine which way it wants to fly based on whether or not it's day or night for perfect camouflage. It wouldn't work as a monster because it's just a bird. But it's a cool bird.
Yeah, it's a cool bird. Wait, does that mean we eventually get bottled air from some merchants to supplement? So that's actually written in the book that there are potions and things that can increase your magical, like your mana holding ability and stuff. But if you overuse it, it will cause respiratory issues over time.
I know when you say bottled air, we're picturing some fantasy thing in a stopper. But I'm
thinking of the
picturing the
Lorax.
president from Spaceballs. No, it's Spaceballs with the can.
That's even worse. I'm thinking about the Lorax.
The Perry air.
The Perry air. No. Magic vapes. Oh,
Yo, hold on. This guy cooking. Hold on.
Amazing. Amazing. Oh my gosh. Yo, dude, let me hit the magic vape. Oh man. Fire magic, the hot cinnamon vape.
I am going to destroy you in our magic duel.
Pulls out a bong.
In about 15 seconds.
Oh no. That's so silly. I love it. I love it. Okay, we're finally gonna get to the next type of magic. There's so many.
For the ice caster.
Oh no.
You mean this is just going to be a series that we end up doing forever?
Well, they said 27 episodes. We're giving the people what they want. If we only,
9
if we
seasons!
continue doing only 3 pages per stream, you know. I love it. I love it.
Magical epicenters of the cities are the hookah bars. No.
I guess you could say we're really in the weeds now. Oh my god, Chuck.
Give that man his fish.
Get that man some fish. Mods, fish that man. Okay, learned.
Oh, don't worry. There will be more Elfin Verb streams.
Oh,
In
yes.
fact, next week we're playing more Deep Rock Galactic with Kappa.
Rock and Stone.
Rock and Stone.
Okay.
Anyway,
Learned
magic.
Yeah. In most systems and settings, the default method for obtaining powerful arcana is through careful and meticulous study. It is learned. While it may come more easily to some and be much more challenging to master for others, it can typically be uncovered with time and effort if you have the means and motivation. In some worlds, there might be great academies of learning. In others, ancient wizards and ancient towers hold up for centuries. Still, other settings might encourage a trial and error method of learning. It may not require deep book learning, but mastery must still be passed down through teaching and practice. That does not apply to my world at all, but it's okay. Questions to ponder, Cassie.
How accessible is magical learning to the average individual in this setting? What hurdles or obstacles must they overcome? Hiccups. What is the cost of learning in this world? I'm sorry, I just got violent hiccups.
Oh no!
Okay. How readily are those who have learned magic willing to pass on their knowledge? Are there many who are known for being overly belligerent or antagonistic to new magical learners?
Like I said, this doesn't apply to my world, but it's really cool as a thought exercise of like, if magic can only be learned, I mean, that can lead to some horrible capitalistic stuff, right? Hiccuping while casting magic. Oh yeah, in ballads that would be a problem, right? If you get the hiccups while trying to cast. So is there no way
I was
to...
about to ask what Anthony's asking.
Yeah, so is there no way to further develop your magical access after birth? Not really. But the thing is, since intent is important, I guess you could make the argument for, like, if you're more educated, you might have better, like, not better, but more imagination in the sense of, like, you have more things that you could intend. Whereas if you're, like, a caveman, there's a limit to what you can imagine, right? Versus somebody who's, you know, been deeply educated, gone through the academy, the university, and now they can think of more applications for their fire magic, sure.
So, here's interesting question. Follow me for a second. What is accessing the magic like? Because if it's still exhalation based, but having a better vocabulary helps you to better refine the magic that you're going to be expressing and how you mold that arcana, wouldn't it technically, underneath it all, still be a language-based system? Because if you can't express intent, you can't manifest the energy.
I purely have it as intent in the sense of like you're visualizing what you want to have happen, and then you exhale to let go of the energy and make it happen. Is the way I have it.
I guess, so then we go back to the kids. If you have, let's say, a toddler throwing a temper tantrum, the toddler wants, I don't know, ice cream or something, right?
Yeah.
And to touch back on the ice thing, let's say the toddler is a water mage and is just thinking ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, and wailing. What if there's just streams of ice or like, cold energy just streaming out of this baby because they were born extremely magically potent, but can't refine the intent. They just know they want ice cream.
I think that can definitely happen. It is, for the majority of people, magic doesn't manifest until age 5. So hopefully by that point... I think
I have an amazing...
Uh-huh.
This works so well for ballads. Magical etiquette school. It teaches you how to refine intent.
Yeah. Well, I think by the age of 5, that's like past preschool, right? So they would already be in school by that point. So I think that would just be like the first level is like, okay, you are within the next year, you are going to manifest magical powers. So we're going to teach you how to deal with that.
And would that be, is magic a taught part of the curriculum? Do kids, is there, I guess here's a good question, schooling in your world? Education in general.
Yeah.
Is it something where, like, you would be teaching the kids, like, a health class with, kids of all genders, where it's like, these are the things everyone will experience? Or do you separate them out into the different kinds of casters and say, these are what you are going to be experiencing based on your family, this, that, or the other thing?
I think it's probably that. And so that kind of goes with what Snail Trail is like. Is there a way to discover one's element before the age of 5? You can't discover it before the age of 5, but again, because it's genetic, if you're like, well, my parents both are fire mages,
my dad is a fire mage, my daddy's dad is a fire mage, my daddy's daddy's dad is a fire mage. What do you think I am?
A fire mage, sir?
Nope. Water mage. My daddy's 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 daddy was a water mage.
Exactly. Simply because adults lose their creativity and imagination, children can dream up everything. That's true. But also remember that the vast majority of people only have magic at an extremely mundane level. So are there toddlers that can throw temper tantrum and throw ice everywhere? Yes, but it is highly unlikely. I have you roll for it because you are rolling a main character in this story. So the chances of your main character being special and like high mage level is like above 0. But the vast majority of people have magic on a very mundane level. So the vast majority of toddlers are not going to be like setting huge house fires. A little fire toddler may, at worst, like, oh well, you've burnt the floor a little bit. Oh no, you've set this book on fire. Oh no.
You still got to watch out for the fire toddlers more than the rest of them because they set the book on fire, but the book burning is still a book on fire, and that's in your house.
That is true. But yeah, like having a lighter finger. Yeah. In a world where creativity is power, would you not seek to avoid teaching people to not being creative? Isn't it possible that education may be more freeform? Yeah, that's also true. But I think there can be different schools of thought and different covens and things for like how you want to educate your child in the same way that we have it now. Do you send your magical child to the Montessori school where they just encourage creativity and here's all these things to inspire you? Or do you go the more rigid, like, okay, you have this class and this class and this class? And I think that's where...
Montessori school.
Montessori! Wait, that meant to be a 10. Oh man, why did I do that? That's rude. You can have 9 more. Oh my god. Montessori school. I love that so much. I love your brain. What the heck?
Thank you.
But how would refine work? Is it like sharpness of imagining, or concentration, endurance, or emotional power? A little bit of all of those things. A little bit of all, because ultimately it just comes down to intent. And emotions can definitely add to your intent. Oh, you got a ghost fish. That's really cool. It's epic. I've never seen that. I've never seen that one before.
Neither have I.
That's super cool. Ghost fish.
So here's an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
What then does it take to qualify as a teacher? Because being a teacher at this point, you have to be like more so than you already do. You are additionally a therapist helping with more like emotional regulation type stuff. You have to be at least somewhat of a skilled enough arcanist to understand the signs of when one of the kids is, manifesting something, etc. Like you have the amount of shit you'd have to go through on top of what you already do being a teacher. That
I would argue that more teachers would be like from the holy orders with the divine power that might help them more in these kind of situations, if anything.
That would make sense. Oh, that was the other question I had before. If you get the divine power, if the gods choose you, does it overwrite whatever your inherent elemental genetic power was?
It adds
or do you
on.
just have both?
You have both because it comes from a different place. So actually, that's one where you could combine them. Well, no. Yeah,
like holy fire, I guess?
You could combine them in that sense. Yeah, like holy fire and such. Because they come from a different place. But yeah, bullying in this world would have to be horrific. Would a sociopath be more powerful due to focus or less due to lack of emotional experience? They would be more powerful due to focus. They have higher intent. The divine powers are not respiration based. You are a conduit. So it doesn't require exhalation at all. It's more like psychic power in the way that you were talking about earlier. But it tires you out because your body is serving as like a conduit for the god's power flowing into the mundane world, so you can sort of feel it draining your energy. Making holy water literal, yeah.
The church incenses for that would be pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, divine. That is, if we wanted to move down to the divine one, that is the next one.
There. Okay. Let's see.
So
yeah,
gifted, which I can do.
Yeah, and I'll read the questions this time. We'll swap.
When magic has been gifted, we open up numerous cans of worms. In most traditional fantasy settings, the divine powers of clerics and paladins fall squarely into this category as a gift from the gods. But then, this also fits the description for someone who creates a pact in exchange for magic. If a supernatural being grants an individual otherworldly powers, this would initially be considered a gift. Still, the son or daughter of this person may be the beneficiary of inherited magic, starting yet another magical bloodline. You'll need to determine how this works. Even if it's on a case-by-case basis, the decision is essential to how the world works.
Yep. So, are there any...
In which we have...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, we have clearly established the divine stuff is not genetic and family does not matter whatsoever.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is purely like you were chosen by the gods. Now, did I talk to you about the demigods last time?
We touched on them, but we didn't go too heavy into it. You simply were talking about their existence.
Yeah, so demigods in this universe don't have, like, enhanced powers per se, but they are automatically blessed by, like, their progenitor god, so there is that.
Okay, so
but
how...
it's not like they gain special skills, they just have more of an affinity towards certain things. But it's like in the sense of, these tend to be... Okay, it's time. Let's go to the demigod section.
Talk about what Killer says there, the semi-demi-hemigods. Yeah. Important question becomes, how many generations deep does the blood still count?
It goes forever, even if you only have... Well, I'm just going to read this.
It's right there. Okay, cool.
Demigod is a catch-all term for a person who is descended from one of the gods who, since ages past, have once in a while deigned to favor a mortal in the romantic sense. Why did I say it like that? That's convoluted. Anyways. Demigods can be of any ancestry. A person with even 1% divine blood in them is considered a demigod, though they might not ever know of their divine lineage. It takes at least a heron to officially confirm someone's demigod status, and setting such an appointment can be quite costly. A demigod is technically a god of something. This something is called a domain, just as Fionl's domains are knowledge and wealth. These domains can vary wildly. For example, a demigod descended from Atris might be the demigod of cats. Cats will flock to this person and be particularly friendly with them. The more divine god one possesses, generally, the more important or powerful their domain. A demigod with only 1% divinity might find themselves with a domain of lustrous mustaches, while a demigod whose father is Oanar might be the demigod of lightning. Of course, exceptions will always exist. The gods are fickle creatures who bless and curse people at will. Demigods are a little more likely to be blessed. Oh, okay, so not automatically, but a little bit more likely to be blessed by their progenitor god and possess a domain that they have particular affinity with, but otherwise are just like anybody else. They are not immortal, and once they pass away, their domain can be inherited by a new demigod. Thus, unless their domain and powers seem very obvious and or are greatly affecting their life, most people never bother getting their demigod status officially confirmed. And that's why there are demigods everywhere, but a lot of people may grow up without ever knowing that they are one, because they may just have some super mundane power that's not obvious. I have a table, so there's more, because this is just the lore section, but then in the character creation section, there's a little bit more. Okay. If your character is a demigod, there are a few extra things to decide. Of the utmost importance is which god they are descended from, as that will influence the domain your character is the demigod of. You may then choose a domain that makes sense or falls under the umbrella of the domains of that god. Alternatively, you may roll on the following table. So I made this d20 table. The, whatchamacallit, the distribution is on purpose because some gods are more likely to, let's say, bond with humans than others. And so, for example, Oanar is only on here twice. You only have a 10% chance.
Picking up my Greek-themed edition of Ballads, why are 17 of these Zeus?
Yeah. Wait, the most powerful are those with no emotions or emotions so potent that they fuel their intentions. Exactly. Yeah, going through the DSMV in this world would be wild. The DSM-5, yeah. Dropping the— What happened? What happened? The husband is freaking out. What happened? Who scored? Or who didn't score? What happened? Mexico scored? Oh, is it Mexico versus Korea? Oh no. Okay, yes, I assumed South Korea. You don't have to. Okay. I'm sorry. The husband cursed, and he never curses. He probably curses less than me. And I heard him go WTF from downstairs, so I was like, what? What happened? And apparently Mexico scored. Sorry, spoilers, I guess. I don't know.
I love that you had to say, no, I know it's South Korea. And all I can think is, well, I've already watched the news. North Korea won the whole thing.
Oh no. Oh no.
Kim Jong-un somehow scored 12 of the goals himself.
No. Does that new demigod have to share a lineage, or is assignment semi-random? No, they still have to share. They have to be from the same progenitor god, because otherwise the domains wouldn't like really match up. Oh, am I back to Pixel?
It's Pixel time.
Okay. Yes, I know South. Yeah, he was like, oh, South Korea. I'm like, yeah, okay. We figured. There's this ginormous housefly flying around now, and it keeps landing on my screen. You stop that. You go away.
Your glorious score leader.
It's funny. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy the little husband interlude. He is very excited about the World Cup. The Japan team is like here in the like DFW area right now, so it's very exciting. I joined at the best time. Nice. Hello. Hi, Nick. Nice, Nick.
You know, I gotta put it out there. This entire stream has been the best time. This has been quality.
No, I've said before that I live in the DFW area. That doesn't dox us. DFW has millions and millions of millions of people in it. We live in Grand Prairie. Oh, yeah, we definitely live in Grand Prairie, you guys. Snake, wow. Oh my goodness. Like,
no, I'm the magic cast and snack with good buttons. Wink, wink.
I love that. Anyway, so looking at this table, you can kind of see the way it gets split up. But yeah. So I also give some examples in the table. So like if you get Quarren, and you get like luck-based events. So I am definitely a demigod descended from Quarren because I could be the demigod of bad luck, right here. But that's what I mean, is some of these things are relatively mundane. Like, if you are the demigod of lost items and you just keep finding people's lost stuff, you wouldn't necessarily immediately think like, oh, I'm a demigod. You're just like, wow, I found somebody's wallet again. Crazy. You know what I mean?
The demigod of the number 1, but it only expresses itself through your dice roll.
No. Dude, all moms have that power. Yeah, it's true. Mom, I can't find this. And immediately, here it is.
Domain expansion. I've located the ketchup. Mom reaches into nothing and just pulls out the ketchup you couldn't find.
Tis true. Tis true. Tis true. Oh my gosh. What is it? True. Awa. As each god is in charge of multiple domains, their demigods also have a range of things their domain might encompass. Use the domain prompts as a guide to inspire you. There's also a range of intensity and power represented in the table. You may roll Therios as your progenitor god, but being the demigod of abdominal muscles is certainly not on the level as being the demigod of love songs. The numerical representation of the gods in this table is also intentional. For example, it is far more likely for Atris or Phelan to be a character's progenitor god than Onar, for Onar has coupled with mortals far less times throughout history. Because Onar is relatively loyal. Atris, however, is not. Which Atris is the god of darkness and technically created the universe. And yet, these are the things you get to be if you're descended from Atris. You can be the demigod of sheep. Like this guy created the universe. And you can be descended from him to, like, sheep like you. Or I could say sheep flock to you.
The extremely diluted spell scrolls one to which you become the god of newspaper.
Yeah, fossils. You can be the demigod of fossils. You can. Yes. You could also be the demigod of earthquakes.
And funny enough, I've actually met the demigod of fossils. They work in Rustboro City at a computer, and if you bring them a fossil, they can turn it back into a Laleep.
Yeah, it's true. It's a thing. Oh, I love Laleeps. One of my favorites. Okay, but yeah. Yeah, so that's what is written in there about demigods. So it is not like you gain special powers. You just have an affinity or things happen around you. Like if you were the god of earthquakes, you wouldn't be able to just like, well, now I'm not sure. Like, would you be able to cause earthquakes to happen? I think you, but okay, so you're still channeling the god's energy. So I don't think Atris would necessarily want his descendant to just be causing earthquakes everywhere. It's just, it is possible.
No. What if you have child between multiple demigods? Like a child of Atris and a child of Phelan get together, right? And then their kid hooks up with a child of Natana.
It would just be whoever
what happens there?
It's just whoever has the most. Like, the percentage-wise.
What if it's half and half?
Then it's random.
But it's never both or neither.
No.
That's Snark, that's what I was asking. Custody battle?
Yeah. That's actually a good point that I hadn't thought of, and I'll put it in there. If a person is descended from multiple... I hadn't even thought of that being a possibility, but you're so right. Yeah, why wouldn't it be a possibility? Duh. Multiple gods. Their domain can be from any source. I think that's the way to say it, because which god is your progenitor just makes it more likely that it just makes it so your domain has to be something related to them. So if you have multiple gods you're descended from, that just increases the pool, but you still only have one. Yeah, so like if you're a child of like you have some Phelan in your genetic pool, and then you also have some Atris, you could be the demigod of treasure maps, or you could be the demigod of bats. It's not going to be both. It just increases the pool that you could be under.
Your treasure maps only need the bats. And Killer, to answer you, does the demigod of earthquakes thing skip generations? What I'm gathering is that you'd only have one demigod of earthquakes, but their descendant would have something else of Atris.
Yeah. Although, there's enough demigods because it's been enough 1,000 years that, you know, as that demigod of earthquake dies, there's probably somebody else being born who is now the demigod of earthquakes, you know. So,
prompt for all of you, one of you who is going to play this game, someone who's bought it, you have just been revealed to be a demigod with a descendant of every single one of the gods. What do you do? You're very, very down the line.
Yeah.
You have some minor power.
Yeah.
But what effect does this have on your life?
I guess it wouldn't have.
Is there a divine custody battle, and how does it go?
I imagine in some cases there is a divine custody battle in the sense of them being like, ooh, I sense that this person has a good fate, I want them. But it would happen like before you're technically born. I just don't think it's super... In all likelihood, given the prevalence of demigods, there are likely a lot of people with seemingly random domains. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I meant more that an ONR demigod and a Nitana demigod could have a Nitana child who then gives birth to an ONR child. Exactly. My question for Cassie's question, how much do the gods care about demigods? They don't. There's too many of them.
I mean, if you're a god, ostensibly you've got eyes everywhere.
Yeah. So they may care about a demigod a little bit more than they care about the average person, but you still have to do something kind of special to stand out. That's why it said demigods are more likely to be blessed, but it's not automatic. This also brings up the question, how does the clergy find out about persons? So the whole reason why it has to be a heron, okay, let me go back up to that, because if you are new here, you don't know what that means, but a heron is... I wanted something that followed Christian church things without being Christian church things, so I renamed some of the things. Where is it? No, that's not right. This is in the character creation section. I need to go back up. Where is it? Religion, magic, and divine power. Nope, I was right the first time. Dang it. Character creation section. No. Where is it? You know what? I'm just gonna control F. Where the heck is it? There it is. So a heron is the highest ranked priest of each holy order. And there's 5 of them, 1 for each god. So the reason why it has to be a heron is because herons and rooks can actually commune with the gods and speak to them. They don't always answer, but they do. So the reason why it has to be a heron that you get confirmed with is the clergy finds out about a person's demigod heritage by literally just asking.
Yeah,
and so it's very expensive to do, and it's rare because you have to be able to like get to the heron and ask them, and so you need a certain amount of status and a certain amount of money. But they literally are just like, yo gods, this person thinks they're a demigod. Who is claiming
What
them?
do we do about that?
But that's the vast majority of people. They just theorize like, oh, well, I seem to be the demigod of this. That's cool. But they don't, like, think of it as like, I know I'm neurospicy. Do I want to necessarily go through all of the hoops and pay thousands of dollars to get it confirmed? Nah. That's pretty much the case here. Of like, well, I can literally call bats to me with no expended effort. I can pretty safely assume that I am the demigod of bats, which means that I am the descendant from this god. That's fine. But it's not like a demigod has any special status in society or anything, you know? So it's not something that I feel like people would feel they have to confirm all the time. Now, if you have a really cool power and you would like to confirm, or you come from a really noble family and they're like, we'd like to know, then sure, it is possible. It's just uncommon. Extremely uncommon. Yo, Big G, is this one of yours? Divine sports draft.
Your pixel timed out.
Oh, okay, thank you. I locked in and forgot. You guys got a little extra pixel chibi time. I wish that when I switched models, it would remember all the settings that I had, because I hate that I have to put my glasses back on, change the size. Oh.
Woven Pixel calls for a change in my form.
Okay, alright,
Keep.
that's fine. That's fine. See, the Pixel one remembers. I don't know why my main model doesn't. Alright, there we go. 5 more minutes. That's okay. I wasn't fast. I technically kept it for much longer than I was supposed to. Alright, it's okay. It's very easy to switch. Okay, there we go. But yeah, so hopefully that answers that question. Were there any other questions? Okay, cool. Oh, wait, I saw something else. So if I were writing a demigod with bloodlines that lead back to every god, I would do something where the demigod's domain would be dreams. They could maybe have control over those dreams, i.e. lucid dreaming, maybe have insane powers, but only when they are asleep. That is really cool. I think you could do that with the, where is it? There is one. So actually that would be under this domain here. So there's mental traits and mental skills. So you could argue which one of those dreams would fall under, but technically that is covered here. So you'd be descended from Pheelon.
Demigod of tasty blood attracts mosquitoes and vampires.
Yes.
And listen, if you're playing a romance TTRPG, attracting vampires might not be the worst thing. Depends what you're into.
Honestly, yeah. Yeah, I feel like I did the best with this table to cover as many things that I could think of. So any kind of silly domain, I feel like, is pretty covered by this table. I did my best.
Necromancy might be your angle.
Just give yourself some fish, man. just forget it. Okay, questions to ponder. Oh, let me put this OBS away. Not OBS, Obsidian. Okay. Questions to ponder. Are there any criteria through which the powerful beings determine who is worthy of receiving such gifts? Similarly, must they maintain any specific creed to keep this magic? Yes, that was covered in the book, which is that you kind of have to impress the god, and they'll just be like, cool, I bless you. And they can take it away, but you'd have to, like, really disappoint them for them to do that. How do these benefactors view each other? Do they work together, or are they openly antagonistic against practitioners of a magic that is not their own? At least for ballads, I don't think they care so much. So a little bit of work together, I don't think they care.
But Hime, the romantic drama of I love you, but my god says no. Am I willing to give up my powers at the church?
Yeah. My god says no, but I don't think they're antagonistic.
Isn't there someone you forgot to ask?
There's someone you forgot to ask. My great grandpa Owenar, god of light. Nice meeting you both. Wonderful ideas and brainstorming. Keep on creative worlds. Peace out for now. Thank you so much for dropping by and hanging out.
Thanks for hanging.
Thanks for being here. You'd have to really disappoint them. Question, how moral are your gods with respect to the actions of their demigods? It depends. They are fickle. Some of them are more moral than others at certain times. They're kind of... I see them as kind of like the Greek gods in this sense, where they are kind of selfish, just maybe not quite so bad.
I was gonna say, that's openly antagonistic, but in the petty way, not the violent way.
I think they do have their petty streaks, but I would not say that they tend towards being petty. Look, 6 of my grandpas said you were okay, but the 7th is just not gonna work out. Imagine. Okay, random.
I've consulted the Council of Grandpa, and they've said that our union
is not blessed. Random. Sometimes who gets the incredible power and who doesn't is completely left up to chance. It's entirely random. Even this choice will certainly have ramifications for the rest of your world. Would you like to read the gray boxes?
Yes. How often does this random event occur? Are there any particular trigger points that may increase the likelihood of such an occurrence? Age, proximity to event X? And what percentage of the world's population has experienced this random surge of magical power? Have they all occurred in the same way, or is each instance different from the last? Important. The more specific you get with this, the more there will be room for overlap. At what point does inherited magic become learned after focused practice? Does a magical family heirloom classify as gifted, inherited, or something else entirely? And for that matter, how do you even begin to qualify items imbued with magic of all sorts? It may get easy to bog down into the weeds if we don't remain focused. In each instance, we're looking for the source of the magic. The rest, for our purposes, matters less.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Once you've settled on the ways that magic is bestowed upon creatures in your world, the next great question arises. What, if anything, prevents someone with magical powers from doing whatever they want as often as they want for as long as they want? At least in my world, you just run out of mana. Like, you get exhausted and you have to rest to recover. For every world with magical, supernatural, divine, or even superheroic powers, there comes an innate set of limitations. Some of them are solid walls, forcefully and permanently denying attempts to even attempt something deemed beyond the scope of the universe's capabilities, or the author's predetermined rules of how things work.
Zachariah art calls for a change in my form.
All right.
3.
I'm gonna be a pixel. Other limitations are better seen as restrictions. Technically, there are ways of circumventing the limit if one is willing to violate laws, decrees, or the natural order of the world. And finally, there are more tangible, intrinsic, personal limitations for each individual, which is kind of what I have. Once again, this is a more restrictive in nature and can be overcome through various means. Each listed aspect is presented as another facet that fights against magic. In its base form, magic can be chaotic, unruly, and destructive. It's only natural that the world and its people have developed barriers to mitigate the uninhibited spread. Damn, this book was very well written. I know, right? Okay. This list is presented in table form. Okay. Limitations.
And yours will be... well, I guess you can say that it's technically 4 and 5. Depends how you do...
Yeah. It's a mix of 4 and 5. Because it is physiological,
4, 5,
but also... yeah. Well, it's not... oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so it's like a little mix of these. It's mostly your physiology, but you're also limited by, like, your imagination. Which is kind of a funny concept. Oh, which is also 7, because it says the creativity and resourcefulness of its wielders. So actually, it might be a mix of 4 and 7 then. Yeah. That's cool. I'm just gonna read the headings for this. Natural law fights against it, divine law fights against it, social law fights against it, physiology fights against it, mental capabilities fight against it, resources fight against it, innovation fights against it, and hierarchies fight against it. So again, I think in ballads it's a mix of innovation and physiology, because your mana pool is like literally something in an organ in your body, but then also the innovation sense of like intent is what drives the magic as well. And so if you are very uncreative, or you were isolated and not super educated to have a very wide imagination, then you struggle, right? Okay. Once you've defined how magic arises and what limits it, the final step is understanding how it lives within your world. The presence of arcana doesn't exist in a vacuum. It shapes societies, economies, faiths, and even personal identities. Consider these questions as you refine your setting. Right. Questions.
That's right. Culture and society. How does the average citizen view magic? Is it sacred, dangerous, mundane, or a necessary tool?
I would say most of them view it as mundane, because most of them have it at a mundane level too.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Like, just everyone has it. It's just like a normal, like literally as natural as breathing.
What professions or trades have evolved or vanished because of magic's existence? This we were starting to touch on before.
Yeah.
I guess one big question I have: can magic solve hunger and thirst in your world? Can you conjure food and water from nothing?
No.
Okay.
Because it's purely elemental. So you cannot use it to create things.
There's no conjuration.
No, there's no conjuration magic.
Oh, I guess you can conjure water.
Even you're not conjuring water with... You're not conjuring water with water magic per se. I would say you're just like condensing... in a scientific sense, you're condensing the hydrogen. Yeah. So I guess you can make water, but it may not be drinkable, like potable water per se, depending on where you are. You can't make water from nowhere. Like I would say, because of like the way, it has to come from the natural world, because these are elements. Like if you were in the middle of the desert, you could maybe conjure like a drop of water, but it's not like
Yeah,
you
but if
can't make
if
it
you
out
were
of
in a
nowhere.
theoretical zero humidity
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah.
Now, Killer actually
Similarly,
had my next
if
question.
you're underwater, you're not going to be able to conjure flames.
Yeah. Killer had my next question. Could you use it for farming? Because that's something that you had said in your magic thing. It was somewhere in your book already.
Mm-hmm.
You said that among the mundane things people could do, helping to grow a plant was among them.
Yeah, because if you have air magic and you can channel more like carbon dioxide or whatever, into the plants in that sort of way, then yes. But it's still, you're not creating something from nothing. You're just be able to concentrate those natural resources more.
Chuck, oh God, could a water mage accidentally split an atom?
No, oh no, that's a scary thought. I guess technically. But the thing is, they don't understand that atoms exist, right, in my world, so.
Just, mommy, look what I can do.
Kaboom, kabloomy. Cassie. If he intends to,
yes,
right? True, if he intends to. But they don't, again, at least in this setting, the basic book setting, they don't know of the concept of like germs and atoms and stuff. So
to answer your question, Chuck.
Chuck Brando calls for a change in my form. Pixel.
So are certain types of casters more apt to certain professions? I mean, absolutely, right?
Yeah.
You've got fire mages being your blacksmiths and chefs.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Water probably helping with farming, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Is it required? Well, I think I can totally see society evolving in such a way where it's like, oh, we only want you if you have this kind of magic, because it's a skill. Does it kind of suck? Yeah. Because it's something that you can't really help, that you were born with, but that's just how society, of course, society.
But at the same
will
time, it's not like, it's not one of those things where it's like, skin color, gender, wherever. No, like, if you can't manipulate water, you can't manipulate water. That's not something that, it's like, there's no, if you're a blacksmith, you're not going to take the guy that can't manipulate the fire in the forge, if that's something that you can find quite normally.
Yeah. So you're suggesting that an isekai scenario, because that is part of the character setting in this book, because it is based on romance fantasy, you can literally make a transmigrator isekai type of character. They might be excessively overpowered due to scientific understanding. Yes, exactly. That is exactly what I'm saying. Which is a very big cornerstone of these kind of isekai romance fantasy webtoons, because oh goodness,
is rating with 5
hi
stars.
Cat, thank you so much for the raid. Oh, you were playing Mystery Dungeon. I love Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Thank you so much for the raid. Put your toe beans up. I don't have toe beans. I'm a bird. I don't got toe beans. I got claws. Caca. But thank you so much for the raid.
I'm just enough.
Yeah. Do you have toe beans?
No, I just have toes.
We don't have toe beans, unfortunate. But everyone
Actually,
else
my
can put
model
their
doesn't
toe
even
beans.
have feet, but...
Oh no. Oh, the husband is freaking out downstairs. I'll ask in a second. But yeah, for those that don't know me, I'm Hime. I am a non-binary parrot VTuber with a penchant for solo TTRPGs, but I stream other things too. Today, my friend Cassie and I are doing some world building for this this game that I'm writing, actually. But we're also just doing a lot of like fun discussion and Q&A. It's a lot of fun, creative time. I have feet. Cassie doesn't have feet. If you need to raid and run, I totally understand. Please take care of yourself. But if you want to stick around, yeah, we are working on the magic system. We're getting towards the end, I think, but sort of like magic. How does magic work in the world? Who has it? What has happened as a result of magic? So currently we're talking about professions and trades, how those have evolved or vanished due to the existence of magic. So we're just kind of talking it out. But yeah, truly horrifying. Yeah. But that's anyway. So I was talking about how this is a touchstone of these kind of like villainess series or like the transmigration things, because if you are a reader of these webtoons, a very common plot point is the character coming into this time period from the modern day, and they quote unquote invent something that they already had, and it's like a huge deal. So like, oh my gosh. So one that I read relatively recently was she basically brought with her the concept of like hygiene and bathing, because she came back in the Middle Ages where they're like, ew, who wants to bathe? We do it like once a month. And she's like, no. So she came up with like bathhouses and bathtubs and all this stuff. And so yeah, having that knowledge and increasing your imagination in that sense, because it is based on actual knowledge, absolutely would lead to better magic. However, you do have to have a magical ability that can match it, because if you're like, man, I really want to split atoms, but you're at like a level 1 of magic, then that's not gonna work right. Ascension of a Bookworm is great for that, though not a villainous anime. Yeah. I stopped watching Ascension for some reason. I can't remember. I think something really sad happened. And I was like, I can't continue, it's freaking me out. But the part that I watched, I really liked. I feel like that could still create schisms in family dynamics. If a child has weak magic or a different element from the family business. Oh yeah, for sure. That could create some very juicy drama. Water child of a fire family. Yeah, for sure. That could definitely lead to some drama. Could see some great family drama of the father being like, is this even my child? Why is our child a water mage?
It's the who cheated along the bloodline.
Yeah.
Because imagine, here's the fun part, right? The father has irrefutable proof that his wife never cheated, right? Somehow he just knows, he's like, it is impossible that she cheated on me. So the question is, where along the bloodline did someone cheat?
Yeah. Hi, what? That sounds, I'm sorry, that is your name. It sounds weird to say hello, what? But hello, what? Drama, we loves to see it. Exactly. You gotta have that drama to keep the story going, especially in ballads, because it's that day-to-day, like, stuff that's happening, right? Dog, a good isekai water mage could have infinite energy and all they would need to do is make a dang water wheel. It's true. It's true, and you can definitely make that happen in this game. That's the fun part. Ooh, I am changing to Chibi. I'm no longer Pixel. Wow, I'm so big.
Wow. Bubbly.
Make myself. Hey, look, we're the same height, kind of. All right, this is the chibi me. That is adorable. I know. Timer. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Yay. Yeah. I'm very wobbly. Oh yeah. While I'm in this form, you should definitely redeem the poke the burb. Redeem the poke the burb redeem and see what happens, because that one has a special effect when I'm in this model. See? It's fun. I left Poke the Burb on. That's and awesome. people will do it. Like Oso really likes redeeming it even when I don't have this model on, but it's oh, whoa. Go, that's 3 pokes. That's 3 pokes in a row. My gosh, I'm all scrambled.
Does this work?
Yeah! I can't!
Okay, it does.
Yeah, I made sure that every single one of my models has removable glasses, so it works across all 3.
That's awesome.
You can even remove the glasses from my Pixel model, actually.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it works across all 3.
Yeah, you can have those back.
Oh, thank you. Blind chibi. Yeah. No, I might. Yeah. So cute. Thank y'all. Yeah, it's very wiggly. It's fun. It is very wiggly and fun. Yeah, there's a lot of toggles. I think this model has like 30 toggles or something. Whoa! Who took my glasses yet again? Who did that? Court of Ophelia? Oh no! What have I done to wrong the court? What have I done to wrong the court that you must take away my vision?
Oh no. Whoa. Ophelia's just a kleptomaniac.
Oh.
I'll be back eventually.
Okay, I understand. Wow, I was poked again.
They're just like grabbing things and running around.
Thanks for the head pats. Wow.
Ah.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I should change my talking. See, there you go. I should change my talking from the heart to the
wow. Yeah, that would be cute. I cleaned them for you. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet and kind. Thank you. I guess I'm back in the court's good graces. Okay, so is there a class divide between those who can wield magic and those who, well, everyone can wield it, so yes, no, but I mean, I guess even instead of there being like haves and have-nots, there's some divide between people who are like stronger in it than others, but I wouldn't say it leads to like class divisions. It's still based on nobility and who has more money and stuff like that. But there's definitely limitations, like you can't join a coven if you're like a level 1 mage, you know? This isn't interesting. How does magic influence art, fashion, entertainment, and folklore? Huh. I mean, I can't say that it has no effect, but I'm struggling to think of how it could influence them with the way that I have it. I don't know. What suggestions do you have? Or like thoughts? Because this is interesting, but I don't know. Can't join the Mages Guild at level 1, but the Adventurers Guild on the other hand. Yeah, 100%.
That's true. I mean, as far as art and fashion, I feel like the air mages have quite a bonus. Because, like, you know, if you're dancing and you can make your clothes dance with you.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Or, you know, if you're skilled enough and precise enough, maybe even making the wind play an instrument. Like, you know, you keep a flute next to you while you're playing the guitar, and so you have the air playing the flute while you play the guitar. You could be a one-person band.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's true. I hadn't thought about that. That's
awesome.
Killer's
got a good point. Ice sculptures, glass sculpting, heck, clay sculptures too for earth or fire mages.
That's true. Okay,
and hell, the fire would be good for the ice sculptures too. If you get the big block of ice given to you, you use the fire to melt it, like you know, shape the ice.
That's true.
And so you'd have like, you know, teams of people, like, you know, the one person makes the ice, the earth mage brings up the clay, the water mage freezes the ice, and then the fire guy standing between the two, like, does the show where he bakes the clay while doing the ice sculpture.
Yeah, you could have mages being artisans. Are textiles even the same in a society with elemental magic? Yeah, I could imagine you can have these like laundromat type places with water mages and fire mages that'll just steam all of your clothes. That's fun. Air mages could potentially have music that carries further too. True. That's fun. I do like that thought.
Let me think. As for entertainment.
Yeah. That's part of the music part, right?
Yeah, I mean, like it all, because at the tech level you're at, art is gonna be entertainment.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you don't really have.
I think if anything, that's not art? If anything, I think the artisans and entertainment guilds would want more diversity rather than having all fire mages, because there's more cool effects that you can have when their powers interact.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like if you've got a place that is making sculptures, well, you want to have an earth mage and a fire mage, right? An entertainer that's a mage might cost more than an entertainer without magic, or at least with stronger magic, because everyone has magic in my world. But yeah, definitely if you have like a really powerful mage, they could join a coven and go into research and go be a warrior of some kind, or they could be like, no, I'm going to use my super strong water magic to become like a water dancer, you know? It's up to them. Hello, Ujope
and if it's like
Delta. Don't know how to pronounce that. Hope I did not butcher that, but hello. Welcome in.
If it's what's it called? Because like if like you said, it's as simple as breathing.
Yeah. I
doubt there'd be art without magic.
Yeah, it's true.
Like if it's that incorporated into your everyday life, if that's part of your skill set, then you incorporate it into what you're doing.
100%.
Now, here's something I'm thinking about. What about sports?
Oh man, this goes back to Atomic. Atomic invented this whole sport, and for his campaign of ballads, and created all these different sports players and stuff. Butchered it good in a cute way. So it's okay because I'm cute, right? That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, I'm going to the Water Mages bar. Every bard or theater troupe has built-in special effects. Yeah. I love the idea of a band of traveling entertainers being a group of mages just having fun. Right? Oh, the timer ran out. Okay. I'm gonna switch back. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all 10 seconds. Are you wanting me to switch my model to something else? Because if not, I'm going back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Gosh dang. Okay, well, you know what? It's
Brando calls for a change in my form. Pixel.
Well, okay, you got to see my knees for a second.
Well, didn't even have to redeem them.
Oh no, knees. Amazing.
All the Amish Hime fans really doing. They're having their night.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Now, you know what? To all the Amish Hime fans out there,
I see you. You're on a computer. You shouldn't be. But you should be watching Hime if you are. Thank you.
Marginally related, I dress kind of like this in, like, when I'm not a VTuber. I tend to wear long skirts and long dresses and stuff, and I once had somebody ask me if I was a Pentecostal. We were on a field trip, like a multi-day, like overnight kind of field trip, and the bus driver that we had with us for the weekend on the third day asked me if I was a Pentecostal because he said that he ain't never seen my ankles. I was like, no, it's just my personal fashion. And then he asked why, and I was like, I don't have an answer for that. I don't know to tell you. Skirt go swish.
Excuse me, Hime. A quick question. Why do you look like that?
Yeah. Why can't I see your ankles? I'm like, man, why are you
Go
looking?
redeem the burb
yeah,
ankles.
exactly. Why was he looking? Yeah, why were you looking, man? What are you trying to get a peek at my
You want to
ankles
see?
for?
You want to see? You want to see the fucking feet? Twitch.tv.
Why are you the way that you are?
Great question.
I just think
It all started before I was born.
Yeah. I just don't think people should be able to see my ankles at all times, that's all.
It's true. See, I just don't like high socks because I start feeling them on my calves and they're itchy.
Chuck took my glasses. How am I supposed to see now?
So,
quick question, your existence, it is
question.
different from my expectation. I require explanation. It does work in Pixel Play. I know, I told you. The Hotoful stream has brought me very far from the feet redeem. Understandable. Oh yeah, don't forget, I have that community goal for the Hotoful boyfriend stream. Part 2 stream. We're at 4%. Anyway, the sports question.
So I feel like if it's that natural, there's gotta be, like, on the one hand, they have to allow magic in sports.
Yes.
On the other hand, they have to regulate magic in sports.
True. Wait, maybe the bus driver is just a demigod of ankle. Yeah, 100%. I love that. I love that headcanon. The beady eyes are back. Yeah. Yes.
I love when they open like they're just...
Yeah. I set the sensitivity a little too high, so if I open my eyes just a little bit wider than normal, it suddenly goes like that.
That's awesome. I love that, though.
It's very fun. But I can also...
Could you do magic while running around? Wouldn't that make breathing difficult? Well, my thought is that would certainly make it a lot easier for air mages to do stuff.
Yeah.
I assume if you're skilled enough.
There even might be certain types of magic where they're like, or where sports where a certain type of magic is like required even, because they're like, oh, we have a whole sport that revolves around being able to fly around, so you have to be an air mage to play, otherwise you're just gonna plunk down to the earth and die.
There's the sports movie about the fire mage who learns how to make a point of heat so hot under him that it makes him float over.
Right. Yeah, this actually has a lot of toggles too that I don't always do. Like, here's this one. You want to see me dance for a bit? What if there's a magic league like in Legend of Korra? Yeah, I could see that too. For sure. Yeah, this pixel model can do a whole bunch of stuff. It's cute. Anyway, we're gonna read. Pixel model is so cute. I know.
Also made me a cheat, so I'll use that.
How would flying around work if you need to breathe clearly? Wouldn't flying impact your breathing and make you plummet? Not if you're good, just get good. Air mage marathon runners using pure oxygen to constantly run at full speed would go crazy and be incredibly hard to detect. Right? Marathon, like, sprints would be so fun. Natural selection.
Falling out of the air, playing air football as the Jumbotron says skill issue in giant blue letter.
I think they would have a crew on the ground, you know.
Just to get people running around with stretchers.
Or, you know, like a net that'll catch you when you fall, you know.
It's two water mages carrying around a kiddie pool, and they bend up the water under you if they're gonna miss.
A crew on the ground to laugh at you. The crew on the ground, and when you come to, they're just like, get good. Bottomless pits are how we decided who the best disciples are going forward. This is going very far from, like, Airbender and being, like, the nice, peaceful monks, and now we have air mages being like, if you can't fly, you die. Wild. But I do love that. I did get inspired by Atomic to create a sport, not necessarily like his sport, but I like the idea. I'm gonna add this to my list of like different. I'll come up with a sport for each. I'll come up with a sport for each magic element. I think that'd be fun. I.e. air, football, lamau. Oh, wait, why am I crying? Did I push a weird button? Why am I crying? Did I push something? I didn't mean to. I must have pushed something. I'm crying now. Why? I don't know. Alright, turn off the animation. You come to, son, you suck, leave. Yeah, you lose at air football, and your god removes their blessing. They're like, sorry, I don't bless losers.
One of the gods in my setting would absolutely be like that. I have a god who is she is the god of sports. She'll tell you she's the god of winning.
Yeah, I love that. Imagine fighting an earth mage in UFC style fight. Exactly. Man, that's so funny. Yeah, I think that'll be fun. I think the sport, because I do want to come up with a sport for each element, but I think the one for earth magic does need to be some sort of like martial art, so you can conjure up more rocks or like manipulate the earth to block and stuff, so I think that'd be really fun. It either goes in the direction of some sort of ultimate frisbee competition or martial arts. Ultimate frisbee, but make it like magical.
That'd be super fun.
That'd be very fun. Okay. That was a fun little tangent. Politics and institutions. Do you want to read these?
Yeah, I got you. Who regulates or studies magic? Are there guilds, colleges, churches, or empires built around its control?
Yes to all. There's covens where they study magic. I guess it's a mix of the holy orders, so like the temples and the government regulating magic. So it's like almost like a, like I would say on the local level, it's local authority. Like if you commit a crime, it doesn't matter that you did it with magic or not. But then if you do like a severe magical crime of some sort, then that's probably when the temple steps in. But on like a local level, you know, that's kind of how I have it in mind.
It does lead to an interesting situation, though, in which most people with certain kinds of magic are always armed.
Yeah, I could see that. Imagine Ultimate Frisbee, but in a pool. Air and water mages both required to be competitive. That's cool. Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, you have this really big arena that has a water section and a flying section, and you have to get it through, like, both sections. You know, that'd be neat. Tiny! Bye, Tiny! Let's see. I've seen Shaolin Soccer. I know this kind of game. Oh, wait, did my timer run out? My timer ran out. Alright, I'm switching back. Just lurking. Well, thanks for lurking. Thanks for coming by. Alright, I'm switching back. And if y'all switch me back, that's okay. Okay. Okay, we're back. Okay. Is magical education... Oh, sorry, you're reading this part. Go ahead.
Discord, please. What are we doing?
Oh, no.
Don't... Whatever it is, stop. Okay, there we go. Is magical education standardized, restricted, or entirely black market?
We kind of touched on this earlier.
You said standardized.
Yeah, it is kind of standardized, but you have choices in how you want to do it. Yeah.
What power structures depend on magic, and what happens if those structures fail or rebel?
I don't know that power structures depend on magic, because most magic is so mundane. It's just like a normal part of life. So I don't think it's possible for like every fire mage to rebel or anything. So I don't know that this really counts.
And like none of the churches can really go too bad or against their gods' wills, because the gods can just yank the power back.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
Now here's a good one. Does magic replace manual labor, or is it too rare and expensive to do so? So the question is, do you like, and I guess this kind of sticks to the whole like you can get yourself in shape to an extent, as it were, and fill the bowl that you have all the way.
Yes.
I guess would construction teams probably look then for like both people who are skilled earth mages and people who are just, you know, like muscular people in general. It doesn't matter what your magic is.
Yeah.
I feel like it would probably like enhance it like tools, but not fully replace it if people have it super mundane.
Yeah, I think because the majority of people have it very mundane, when they come across somebody that's rare, or you could have some companies that they specialize because they only accept people that have like a higher form of magic, but you can't say that it completely replaces manual labor because it is like rare, you know.
Zach says hydrate, and I need to refill my water. I'll be back in just a minute.
Okay. I'm gonna have a sip of my... I am drinking another one of these Guy Fieri Flavortown drinks, sparkling waters. This one is apple pie a la mode flavored as well. I'm gonna try all of the Flavortown sparkling waters. I've had 3 of them so far. I don't know how many there are, but I'm slowly making my way through. Look at you fighting that slime. Get that slime. I think you're about to get got by the slime, though. I'm sorry. But it's okay, you can continue to level over time. Guy Fieri makes beverages. Yeah, there's sparkling water that is Flavortown. It's got Guy Fieri Flavortown. So this one that I'm drinking is apple pie a la mode. I had the root beer one, and I also had... Oh, what was the other one I had? I can't remember. The husband was very offended by the root beer flavored sparkling water. I liked it, but he was like, I can't get over the disappointment of expecting it to be sweet root beer, but it doesn't taste like that. So he doesn't make these beverages. It's another sparkling water. It's Waterloo sparkling water, but it's like, I guess it's like a collab kind of thing. Licensed product.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. Okay. So yeah, I agree with you that it doesn't completely replace manual labor. Are there going to be some companies where it does? Sure. But on the whole, no. The flesh sack requires sleep, so off I go. I love that you used both of our heart emotes. That's so cute. Good night, Zachary. Thanks so much for being here. See you later.
Okay. Have a great night. Sleeper.
All right, continuing on.
Final question. How does magic alter value? What becomes priceless and what becomes obsolete?
Oh, we skipped the question.
So this is something I'm curious about.
We didn't do the question before.
Can people with good enough... Oh, we didn't do the question. Oh,
yeah, but that's okay.
Oh,
let's answer this.
I went to the bottom of it.
That's okay. Let's answer this one first, and we'll go back to the other one.
My thought with it, do the people with earth-type magic, can they, like, pull valuable stuff out of dirt? Like, can you not have to pan for gold or gems, etc., and have these people working in the mines? Can they just pull that kind of stuff out? Do they have an affinity for it?
I would say no, because they can manipulate the earth and summon things, but like they could if they knew it was there. So if for some reason they had some way to know, like, I know that 2 feet deep from here there's a diamond, then sure, they could like manipulate the earth around the diamond, pull the diamond out, but they don't have a sense of like, I know that it's here. No.
Could they turn coal into diamond?
Would the earth mage be able to create pressure? I don't think so. Now, I think with a very strong air mage, you could pressurize the coal to turn into a diamond. Or maybe with a combination of the Earth Mage and the Air Mage working together, maybe. But I think they'd both have to be pretty powerful, because that is very much non-mundane. Could they pull metal from ore? I think so, but yes, again, similarly to, it depends on their strength level, right? Because some I think would be easier to separate, and some not so easy to separate. Would an Earth Mage be able to move lava? That is a question. Would the Earth Mage be moving lava, or is the Fire Mage moving lava?
I think it's Earth, because that's just very hot rock.
Yeah.
The question of where does it become fire is an interesting...
I would say yes, Chuck, but just again, maybe you require a little bit more power, because again, that is like non-mundane, right? But technically speaking, yes. Oh, there is a surprise quest. If y'all donate 50 points worth, which is $25 worth, either with bits or subs or through my Ko-Fi, then I will switch to my slime model for 15 minutes. Oh, Zach just left. Zach is like the most enthusiastic. Or on YouTube, yes, also on YouTube. Super chats, anything that will send money to me will count. Yes, yes.
You can't see me because I have no model tonight, but I'm nodding a lot.
This is somehow the first quest of the night. I know. Yeah, there's a 50% chance of these proccing every hour, so it's kind of wild that this is the first one. Hey, I love the slime model too. I know you do, but Zach is like the most enthusiastic for it. It's very cute. I want to say the Fire Mage would be able to cool down the lava, take the heat out of the lava type deal. Yeah, I could see that.
No, see, this leads to the necromancy and healing question.
Yeah.
Are the Fire Mages the Ice Mages?
In this sense?
Ones who learned how to pull the heat out of things.
Yeah, I guess so. Technically speaking, yeah. Because if they can produce heat, you would think they can also pull heat out of something. So I guess technically, they would be the Ice Mages as well, if they had enough power to do that. Because I think you would have to be able to remove so much heat, you know? That maybe you don't have to be level 3 or anything, but at least a level 2. That's a cool thought.
You can almost be like an interesting, like, magic breathing kind of thing, right? Where it's like you're almost storing the heat energy within you. And so in order to have the fire magic, you have to inhale the heat from somewhere. So like you're creating a zone of cold. Yeah. And then to release it.
Yeah. By that logic, can water mages dry things? 100%. Yeah. Now, I am leaving this purposely vague in the book because I think the way that the player wants to use magic for their character is 100% up to them. So all I'm telling you is, here is the element that you have. This is the level of magical ability you have. Now it's up to you how that comes about in a specific sense. But I still enjoy the discussion anyways.
Absolutely. Especially if you're going to do a murder mystery romance type thing. Good to know what people's capabilities can be.
And air mages create vacuums. Yeah, kind of. But how would they keep it being a vacuum? They would eventually just run out of mana and then they would just not be a vacuum anymore. So going back to, are there magical currencies, resources, or trade routes? I would say no. Just because of the way magic is presented here. I could see it being used to barter in the sense of like, hey, I'm a water mage, my friend's a fire mage, sometimes we'll just like, help each other out with specific things, but no, I wouldn't. I think because it's so mundane, I don't think there's any special currency or anything. Okay. Ethics and morality. What moral questions arise from the ability to heal, resurrect, transmute, or control minds? None of this is in the realm of magic in my world. At best, maybe some very strong divine power, like so certain very high level blessed, like with divine power type priests might be able to do one of these things, but I would say it's highly unlikely because the gods don't want them doing these things.
I think the closest thing you have is the questions we were asking with like getting near alchemy with earth mages, but since they can't really transmute, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Are there ongoing debates about what should or should not be done with magic? Probably not, mainly because everyone's level is very mundane. Does it come up from time to time? Sure, but I don't think it's something that the majority of the world worries about because the majority of people have very mundane levels of magic.
Here's a question. How much oversight do nobles have over the mages guilds that do exist?
I think it depends on the guild, because some might be sponsored by nobles, and some might not. So I think it just depends.
Makes sense.
There's guilds. There's a few pre-made guilds that I made in the book, but otherwise I just describe what a guild is, and it's up to the player to like make them up.
Gotcha.
And even the ones I created, I was like, you could choose to use these or just not, you know.
And so the next ones are relevant to the how do practitioners justify or wrestle with the ethical weight of their power? They don't.
They don't have to, no. Because it's all because it's so mundane, and by this point everyone's had it. So it's not really a matter of like, oh, it's unfair that to the best farmers are water mages. It's just kind of like, well, that just makes sense. That's just how it is. Don't worry,
Now,
there's other stuff that you can do that, you know, because the thing is everyone has magic. So, okay, you're not a water mage, so it's less likely for you to be a farmer, but then there is something that only you can do anyways. So I think that would just lead to a little less ethical weight in that sense.
I think it does lead, you said at this point, how has the level of magic changed over time? Is it fading, returning, or mutating? That's a good question. Like, how was it when they first got the magic?
I think it's all the same. I don't think it's fading or returning. Mutating a little bit in the sense that they're coming up with more applications for it over time, but the level of magic hasn't really changed. Are there remnants of forgotten magical ages? No.
I'm thinking about it. As for the mutating,
Yeah.
I feel like the guilds, is there room for refinement amongst practitioners of like certain, for example, like if we wanted to use the bloodbending example, like from Avatar, right? A medicinally focused water mage guild.
Yeah.
Focused on blood and humors, etc.
Yeah.
Like specialist guilds, I feel like could be an interesting addition to your
because this all goes
society.
This all goes back to magic being based on intention, but you can't have the intent if you don't know that it's possible, right? And so there's guilds that are researching and experimenting to see what is possible. And then once they have it, it's like, oh, well, now we can introduce the intent. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's...
Word, I am making
education enabling intent works out much better.
Yeah. And then it's a matter of like, well, do we make this public knowledge so that everyone at this level can have the intent? Or is it like, oh, this is a little weird, you know, maybe we don't want this to be common knowledge. This is all incredibly fascinating.
Certain things people just shouldn't know.
But sadly, I need to go to bed. Good night, everybody. Good night, Killer Flame. Thank you so much for being here and for all of your help. I'll see you later. Sleep well. Much love to the burb friend and elf friend. Yeah. Mwah. Okay. Yeah. So.
Oh, this is a good one. What might happen if magic were to disappear, or if it suddenly surged to greater potency? Because I know you said the remnants doesn't necessarily matter.
I just don't think it would happen because the gods don't want it to happen. Like, there's no reason for it to disappear. Like, the only way I could imagine this happening is if somehow, not even humanity, because there's not just humanity, but there's elves and dwarves and everything. If somehow all of the intelligent beings manage to piss off the gods enough to the point where the gods are like, we're taking this away. But I still can't imagine that, like, how could that even happen? You know, it's unlikely.
Yeah, you'd have to really fuck up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. It's true. What if the Wi-Fi symbol to the god gets disrupted? It's okay, because the Wi-Fi signal to the god are the herons, and it's okay. We just find another heron. Or elect. I guess technically they're elected. But yeah. interesting. I guess it's fun because depending on the type of magic you have, some of these questions become very relevant or very irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
Right. Thematic and emotional resonance. Okay. What does magic mean in your world? Is it hope, corruption, chaos, enlightenment, or even addiction? I feel like if I had to pick one of these words, enlightenment is probably the strongest one, just because everyone has it, and it's a matter of, like, as you learn more and grow your imagination and learn how to handle your emotions and all that stuff, you know, it can be viewed in that sense. But I think, again, magic is so mundane. It's the same as breathing. Everybody has it.
Yeah, it's like asking what do arms mean? Like, I don't know. Everyone's got them. They help me do things.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, exactly. And some of us have slightly stronger arms than others, but that's it. That's all it is, you know. How do you want your readers or players to feel about it? Awe, fear, familiarity. Yeah. Familiarity.
Hold on, that just made me think of something, because I was like, well, some people don't have arms.
True.
Is it possible? I know you say no one is born without magic, in that everyone has the capability.
Yes.
Is it possible to have either a birth defect type disability or get injured in such a way where you no longer have access to magic?
Yes, you would have, or you could just develop such bad respiratory issues that your magic is like extremely erratic and sputters and you can't make it do what you want to do. But I don't think it's possible for you to lose your magic, because then you would lose breathing and you would just die. So.
Fair.
So yes, you can get sick. You can have a genetic defect that might make it so you have, you know, just like a much weaker, you know, because it's attached to your bronchi and in your lungs, right? So if you have weaker lungs, sure, your ability to perform magic, like let's say it should have been higher than it is, but you can't max out your potential, sure. But it's impossible for you not to have magic, because that you would literally be unable to breathe and you would just die.
So there's no way you get an infection where it ravages your lungs, and when you're done, you're still able to breathe, but you can't cast. Like, it's one and the same.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. But that was a very important question to answer, I think.
So that answers also, how do you want your readers or players to feel about it? Awe, fear, familiarity, or dependence. It's familiarity, right?
Yeah, 100% familiarity, and with a slice of dependence, only because like it's so natural that they can't even imagine not having it, because it's just something you're born with.
Oh, Chuck brings up something interesting. So no skeleton mages can't cast magic if I don't have lungs.
Exactly. At least
so does that mean liches
world.
are impossible in your world?
Yeah. We can't have any skeleton creatures or anything. Yeah. No.
So what about vampires?
Technically vampires don't exist in my world. No, that's not true.
Okay.
We have something similar to vampires, but not exactly. It's the hang on. It's the
me exasperated expression. No, Anthony, being the demigod of undeath does not count and is an exception.
There is a they have cave elves that are kind of where's the thing? It's not here. No,
that's what my parents call me, because I never leave my
a cave elf. So, okay, there are two variants of elves and dwarves: sea elves and dwarves with bluer skin and gills along the side of their necks, and cave elves and dwarves with alabaster white skin and darker sclera eyes that allow them to see better in the dark. Some sea elves and dwarves even have fish tails in place of legs, and some cave elves or dwarves are known to drink blood to sustain themselves. So technically speaking, I have created a vampire-like type of person, but they don't need blood to survive in the same sense that a vampire does. It's just like, well, we don't have very many resources down here, stuck in the doom and gloom of the cave, so we drink like blood from animals and stuff.
So we're at the purple elves.
Yeah.
Me blinking.
Well, purple is like a shade. Purple is a shade of blue, right? So technically, you would be a sea elf. You would be a sea elf.
I'm gonna drink people.
under the sea. Wait, you don't need lungs to use divine magic. You need breathing apparatus. So you can, even if you have gills, you can still cast magic. So the problem with a skeleton is, does a skeleton have a breathing apparatus?
He's saying the divine magic, because you said they don't have to breathe for the connected to the gods.
Yes, but the god would have to. Why would the god bless a skeleton that is not alive?
That's fair. Here's the last question there. When all is said and done, what story are you telling through your world's magic?
I want magic to just be there as it is not the point of the story, it's just there as another aspect of society to flesh things out. Rule of Cool Lamau is true. Hey, you can make it happen. Maybe the god blessed them to be able to use magic without lungs or whatever. You never know. It is possible. I'm not gonna say it's impossible. Just
mayhaps you were brought back for a reason.
Yeah.
There was something you didn't complete in life. Maybe this was one of the your god was displeased with you type undeaths where you have to go figure out what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Before you're allowed to rest.
100%. I could definitely see that kind of story happening. Is it something I necessarily planned for? No, but within Ballads, you could do that for sure.
And that's the fun of TTRPGs.
Yeah.
You play them however you want and express the story you want to tell.
Exactly. Hear me out. The skeleton needs to use a magical old school chimney bellow to cast. Wait, I kind of love that.
Like a steampunk skeleton that builds himself lungs with bellows. That's really cool.
Yeah, and the god is like, fine, I'll allow it.
You're putting in all this effort, and I don't even know how you're moving in the first place. Damn, here you go.
Here you go, damn. Many of these questions will be left partially unanswered for now. That's okay. Remember, we're building a foundation for your world. Much of what you still need to factor in will be discussed in later chapters, but it's essential that you begin considering the deeper implications at each stage of your world building. Magic isn't just a tool. It's the first sign that your universe is alive. Before continents rise or creatures breathe, Arcana sets the stage. Next, we'll see how that raw energy begins to take shape, giving birth to land, life, and the rhythms that make a world worth exploring. Oh my god, y'all, we actually finished the Arcana section.
We did it! It only took us nearly 3.5 hours.
Yeah, it only took us 3 hours. We were in the starting soon screen for a while, so I'll say 3 hours.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay, wow, we were very ambitious before we started this stream. We were like, yeah, we're gonna do Arcana and Geography. That did not happen.
No.
That did not happen, but that's okay. We're gonna continue next time with Geography, because I know Cassie is real eepy, and I actually have to wake up really early tomorrow because
I am very eepy.
I am not streaming the rest of this week into the weekend because I am going out of town to visit my brother. I get to drive my new electric car and see what that's like, taking it on a road trip. Wish me luck. I've already mapped out where I need to stop to charge the car, so I think I'll be good, but it's kind of fun. But yeah, I do have to wake up early, so we had planned to keep this stream to about 3 hours, and this works out perfectly because we did finish the Arcana section. Yay! We did it!
This was awesome. You know, I always love this, and I love hanging out with you, so thank you for the invite, as always.
Of course. Thank you so much for being here and for helping me think through some of these things, and it was so funny when you asked that, mind-shattering question. You're like, anyway, while you think about that, I'm gonna go get a drink. Bye. I was like, what?
I was thirsty.
Yeah, but I sat there like, man, what? I don't know. Ma'am, I came in late. Can we start over again? Unfortunately, we cannot, but that's the beauty of the VOD. You just push the rewind button and then you can watch the whole thing from the beginning, catch up with what you missed.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's like we're always here.
We're always here. I've been streaming for 2 years, almost 3, 2.5 years at this point, so if you go back into my VODs, I don't think it's possible for you to catch up.
It's true. You can watch Hime every second until they get back from their trip, and you would still not be even near caught up.
100% true. Dang. Because the time of the trip is less than my average hours streamed per month, so yeah. You would maybe be able to get through a month's worth of content out of the several dozen months. 24-hour Hime VOD stream. Now, technically, during one of my charity streams, I did a full, I didn't turn off the stream, and whenever I was sleeping, I would put on a VOD, so technically that has kind of happened.
Can we just get like a really bad Hime mask accessory for me, and I'll stream with my model wearing a Hime mask on your channel?
I mean, I have this. I have the sleep mask. It's pretty close. You could borrow my sleep mask and be like, I'm Hime.
Me with the cardboard wings on the side behind the elf ears. Hello, it's me, Himeutsugi. I'm a berry and I like games.
Yeah, I'm a berry. No, I'm non-berry. I'm non-berry.
Not even one berry.
Yeah, not a single berry. Oh my gosh. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, y'all. And Cassie, again, big thanks. I love this series. I love chatting about world building with you, and eagerly await the next installment, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm so excited for that ecology chapter now. Like, it was one that I was kind of about, but you've super sold me on it.
I am so ready to yap. Yeah. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
This has been awesome. This has been lovely.
It's so much fun. I adore this. I enjoy this experience so much, and it's really making me flesh out the world of ballads. Even if it's something that doesn't make it into the book, I think as the writer, it's still good for me to have this information in the back of my head, because it's still going to influence things one way or another. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so big. And I think for using this for TTRPGs, that's something huge to think about is, does it all need to be in the game? No. But should it serve some sort of purpose to the game or to you on the back end? Yes. There's a lot of, for example, I know a lot of things about my world's topography that's not ever going to matter to my players until they're climbing that mountain. Yeah. However, it matters for me understanding why certain settlements are in certain places, why certain trade routes are in certain places, why certain roads go certain ways. Yeah. Like, everything comes back to the world that people were provided and improvised to live amongst.
100%. But yeah, so Cassie, what is your schedule looking like for the rest of the week? Where else can they watch you this week?
Let's see. I'm off tomorrow because I run D&D on Fridays. Saturday, we are doing our Renegade Platinum Nuzlocke. That was part of my DONOTHON goals. So we're going to be doing that. Sunday, I'm off. And then next Monday, I am unsure exactly what we're going to do, but we're going to figure something out. And then next Wednesday, you guys can come to either mine or Hime's, and you can see, or Kappa's. You can go see, as we're all going to play together, we're going to play some Deep Rock.
Yes. Which,
and after stream we can figure out.
So I don't forget, but yeah.
Yeah, and we can figure out when we're going to do, when we're going to do this next. Yes. But, that'll be me for the week. Importantly though, if you do join my Discord, one of the things that I will be doing is setting up stuff for the Less Than Serious Magic Cup, a Pokemon tournament that is being hosted by myself and Kappa. And as in the title, it is less than serious. It is there for fun. Players of all skill levels are welcome to join. It is completely free. There is no entry fee, and there is no prize pool. I'm sorry, we're broke, but it's a really good time, and it's going to be fun, and there's going to be people, and it's going to be a blast. So if you want to get in on a fun community event, I suggest joining the Discord and checking that out.
Yeah, not gonna lie, one of the orders of business that I have visiting my brother is having him help me build my team.
I'm as a non-combatant, I'm more than happy to help as well. Yeah. So if there's any help I can provide,
it'll be a fun activity for my brother and I to do.
Yeah. So. And that goes for everybody. If you're here like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, myself or some of the other experienced players will be happy to help. And myself and Kappa, both of whom have at least moderate Pokemon knowledge, aren't playing in the tournament. So we can help you with an unbiased eye.
Are y'all doing the sports commentary style stuff?
Oh yeah, Kappa says he's gonna try to find a way to get suits for our models so that we've got the suits and the microphones.
Gosh, I love that. That's so funny.
I'm super excited.
Oh my gosh. What do you mean teams? You spin more than one?
For singles I gave people the ability to submit 3 singles teams and 2 doubles teams.
I see.
So that you can switch between them if you're having fun.
Okay, I see.
But
I'll have a look.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of work on that. So that's coming.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'll do my best. Can't say I'm the strongest battler per se, but I'm excited.
Oh, I'm excited to cheer you on.
Okay, so with that, we're gonna go ahead and see about raiding out someplace and then heading off for the night. I'm gonna probably wind down pretty soon because I do have to wake up. I'm planning to wake up at around 5 a.m. Because it's a long drive made longer by the fact that I now drive an electric vehicle, so I have to stop and charge along the way, so Okay.
Makes sense.
Let's see. Which I'm excited. I did not think I would be able to get an electric car right now, but I was able to, and I'm really excited. And I'm in love with my car.
Do you know Rena? Rena's playing No Man's Sky.
Yes. See that? I have like a very long scroll list of people streaming. X is playing Baldur's Gate. Saku is playing Ace Attorney. Mari is playing Final Fantasy. I want to say Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 14. It's because I said fantasy and 14 at the same time, so I ended up saying Final Fantasy, which is very silly.
Hey, Coach Z, when did you play in that Final Fantasy 14?
Final Fantasy. Kappa streams is prepping to the end. Has he already gotten to the end of Final Fantasy 7? Huh?
Yeah, no, he was saying earlier today when you were talking.
What? Why do I feel like he's only streamed it a handful of times? How is he already at the end of the game? The heck?
He's been doing some of the grinding off stream. But...
Oh, I see. Oh. Goodness. Let's see. Dang, I'm getting eaten up with indecision. This is always the hardest part of my stream, is picking who to raid into. You know?
Oh yeah, Chuck says Cup is at the end.
Yeah. The end game is very grindy. Oh, okay, I see. Let's go here. Lord Generic is playing these different Steam Next Fest game demos. This is another TTRPG kind of VTuber, so I'm gonna support them. But they're playing some different game demos from Steam Next Fest, and they're currently playing a game called Tanuki Pond Summer, and it looks super cute. So let's go there. I want to see what these Tanukis are up to.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
May I do my outro spiel real quick?
Yes, please do.
All right, to everyone who is here, thank you for joining us and thank you for hanging out. I appreciate your time and I appreciate your attention. If you have a nighttime routine, make sure you do it. If you haven't stretched in a while or gotten any water, go do that or you're going to end up a little shrimp. I'm watching you. If you haven't taken your meds, go take your meds. Go do it. Go do it. Go take your meds. And go get some good sleep once you get there.
Yes.
Much love. Love you all very much.
Love you all very much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Here is my raid message. And once again, thank you for being here. We will definitely continue on with this series. I'm having a lot of fun. Cassie's having a lot of fun. So we will see you all next time. Thank you so much. Bye, 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 bye.
Bye.